Welcome to Nordmark. Isn't it beautiful? I'm in sunglasses. It's so bright. How's
You're
everyone
just
doing?
so radiant on your birthday, Nick.
God damn it. How is everyone today? People in the Discord.
Quite all right. Yeah, it's I was just sitting with audio and only half listening.
Valid. So I'm joined today by, and we'll go left to right on the little images you can see here. We have Summer playing Stonk. We have Bree playing Tattle. We have Ben playing Aegis. We have Talia playing a one-in, and we have Enfys playing Imp. And it was very hard for me to say all of those and not get it the wrong way around, like Stonk playing Summer, etc., etc. But that's just how my brain works, apparently. When I enter D&D mode, they're the characters. They're no longer people to me, as if you ever were.
Characters are people too.
I'm kidding. You're all people. Characters are people too, and sometimes they die. So
Some of the sweetest characters.
I mean, if I kill all your characters, you'll get to play all the new species that you found and want to play as. So you know, there's a silver lining there. There's a silver lining.
Why would anyone be rolling anything but a tiefling?
Yeah. Well, Summer's just discovered the Harangon.
Yes.
That's not a tiefling.
Oh, the honorary tieflings. Fair enough.
Bunny folk is definitely a valid option. Ben says I'm looking a bit Tom Cruise tonight, and I take serious offense to that.
Don't sell yourself short.
Oh, god damn it, Brie. Anyway, let's get cracking. Let's get cracking with tonight's D&D. I'm just gonna.
The Kraken wants the other quest, Nick.
I'm moving the microphone a little bit further away from my face because I'm peeking slightly. So, you begin in the sleepy town of Airedale, and you tonight are off to in fact, let me put the goal down because we know where the goal is. You're off to some Dwarven mines. I'm going to just duplicate the party, and there we go. This is who named it the farty? So this is I've just called it T. You know what, that works. There we go. The goal. That's where we're aiming for, everyone. That's where we're aiming for. Dwarven mines, abandoned, dark, dangerous. Are we all ready?
Yep.
Oh, we're all ready, all right.
They call it a mine.
So you meet together in the cold light of dawn to prepare for your adventure. You're packing up your last things. You're sorting out your backpacks and all that. When a portly cat gentleman approaches you, and specifically approaches Imp, and says, "Now, young imp, I have some concerns. Do you have a moment? I have some concerns about your new business arrangement. You understand me?"
I'm just protecting the town. Whatever could you? Yeah, let's have a conversation. You can. I see how I can help you.
Do you understand my problem with this? You are trying to convert what is a public service, the protection of the people, what is my job, into some private enterprise run by corporations. Now, that is never a good thing in my understanding. Now, I'm somewhat of a socialist, and
you misinterpreted what's going on here. We are protection from bigger forces than yourself. If we're going to be raided, we need some kind of force armed and ready to deal with them. I do not think those gnolls will be are going to stop. They'll be back at some point, especially as people influx as they have been, and potentially even worse things. We need plans in place and people trained to deal with them. And that's
so what you're saying to me, though. What you're saying to me, and what I'm hearing are two different things. See, what I'm hearing is you're saying what we need is a corporate-backed armed militia because the world is scary out there. And that doesn't sound right to me. That don't sit well with my dyspepsia. Because I could see this growing and expanding, and very soon, I don't know. It's not good. This is where you get like corporate towns where they're all like stuck there and they can't leave, and there's a big wall up. And I don't like where this is going.
I wouldn't do that. It's to Aetos, the town in which I grew up. Come on now.
Roll deception.
What with my dice?
Unless you are telling the truth, but I get the feeling this is a deception roll.
Sort of? I mean, well, it's not going to stop anyone leaving, but
no.
The idea is that my dice are stuck. There we go. The idea is that Imp runs everything in the background effectively, just off to the side doing, I'm running this little legitimate thing. Everything else, however, is being effectively run through Imp. I'm still at -1, so 16 total.
16. That's going to be enough. That's going to be enough for Cletus. Cletus is not that insightful. I mean, he's... yeah, he's going to... All right. Because I know you, I've seen you grown up. I basically raised you in these Airedale cells, haven't I? I mean, you've been in there more often than you've been in your own home. I trust you. You still coming to Gumbo?
Yeah, I'll be coming to Gumbo.
All right. Well, that's good. I'll hold you to that. He goes over to Aegis as well, who's, packing his bag, and goes, hey, Aegis, are you gonna be all right out there? After your sort of gestures in general incident.
I'm probably better out there than I am in here,
Well, if you're certain, I mean, it would be a terrifying and frightening thing if you were to turn out there where I'm not there to, and I mean no disrespect, put you down.
I completely understand. Who knows what we might find out there. Every chance that we may come across a cure for me. So, yes, we have to keep trying. I have several weeks until the next full moon, so let's just hope.
All right, yeah. You got 2 weeks. 2 weeks is it's not too bad. Not too bad. All right. With that, he's done talking to you a lot. Where you heading? And at what pace?
In both normal pace towards the mines.
Cowards. So directly to the west or northwest?
I mean,
Or
if everyone
southwest,
would like to
east?
divert to the Deep Stone first, I'm not going to say no.
Going the wrong direction.
Whee! So if you go normal pace, obviously set yourself to 9 tokens. But yeah, you can head up there. Let me grab my notes for the.
Like, why would we choose to cross a river? We don't have to cross the rivers if we just go west.
River's good. Rivers have fish.
Yeah, there is a little bit of river in the next one anyway. We just don't have to cross it.
It's only a very small river.
So we're
Big
heading
river,
west.
big fish.
Nick, is the hex to the west? Is that a plains hex or is that a hills hex?
West is plains.
Okay.
There we go.
That's where the rain in Spain is.
Okay, so we're going west. Okay, is that 3 tokens, I believe?
Let me just see. Yep, that is going to be 3 tokens.
Yeah, because we haven't built a road there yet. Maybe this time.
So you move to the west, and as you travel 8 miles throughout the day, the morning rises. Oh, I've clicked the wrong one. You're not doing that yet. You find a.
Oh, I can't count. Sorry.
You find it among the valleys and the dens. You find a small hamlet, a little curl of smoke rising up from a little sort of outcrop of trees, not very easily visible. That's probably how they've just sort of kept themselves hidden in general from the rest of the world. Little river alongside and that sort of thing. And as you approach, you notice that they have a nice sort of feast set out. Like they've got bunting, they've got maypoles, there's dancing, there's music, and it appears they're celebrating having an abundance of food left over after the winter. Because now it's coming into sort of springtime in Nordmark sort of terms.
Nice.
This is a funny little place to have come across in the next way over from Airedale. How have we never seen this place before?
8 miles away and nestled in some woodland. It could be anywhere.
Would Tattle have had any idea this place was here? I mean, druids should probably know the local area somewhat, including any settlements.
If you think about it, the area's sort of taken up by 8 miles to the left, 8 miles to the right, 8 miles to the north, 8 miles to the south. That's, let me do some quick maths.
That's Airedale's district.
That's 576 square miles of terrain. So, no.
But a one in here. And a one in told everyone.
A one in you. Yeah, a one in did some research. And found some old maps and found a little road marked on there that's since been grown over, an ancient imperial road, so they're dead straight. And it's since been grown over by grass and trees, something that you wouldn't see as you're going over it. It's been 2,000 years. And well, hang on a minute. There's this stop here. This is the perfect place for a village. I wonder if something is there. You know, it's right by a river. There's good trees around it. There's good fields. And there's this old sort of grown over road. Maybe we should check that out. And yeah, it's just a nice, lovely little festival. You can see people singing and dancing. Do you approach?
Yes.
Okay.
Stonk wants in on
anyway.
this.
Can't speak for everyone else.
Well, as you walk in, the villagers see you arrive, and they're a little surprised. They stop dancing. Festival music stops, and one of them, a young tiefling woman, walks up to you in sort of farmer's garb, red ribbon in her hair, and says, "Oh, hello. We haven't had visitors in years. It's so good to see you."
Reset that counter. Hello there.
Hello. What's your name?
I am one impenitent Malak,
Oh, it's great to meet you. I'm Faith.
and I'll introduce everybody else pointing at.
Hello, everyone else. Welcome. Sorry if I'm a little too much. We're having a festival, and I've had a little bit of our leftover alcohol. basically, it's been a great winter, and we've got loads of food. Would you like to join us?
Absolutely. What do you all reckon? Have ourselves some fun?
Can Tattle tell if she's being deceptive in any way?
You can roll insight if you'd like. Just like we've got drinking, we've got dancing, we've got classic games of bobbing for apples. Although we don't have any apples, so at the moment we're using stones. Is that all right?
Sure.
The apples didn't really last through winter. The ones that did, we turned into cider.
I think stones really bob.
Well, no. It's that does make it difficult. You've got to go further down.
That's 11 on insight.
Everything seems fine here.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't had visitors in like 4 years.
So, I'm a bard for now, let's say, and I was just wondering if maybe you're looking for another act to perform in your festival.
That would be magnificent. What can you play?
Anything, really.
Fantastic. If you can play anything, we have several lutes, and we have a shamisen, if you can play that.
I have all my own instruments.
Oh,
No need-
even better. Oh, I'm sure the band would love to have another player, especially one who's so famous as you say you are.
Well, I don't usually play together with others, but I guess I could give it a shot for this joyous occasion.
Great. Do you know the classics like My Old Man's a Goblin?
Oh, I sure do. I've learned all the classics. Yeah,
Amazing. Oh, well, we'll get you set up as soon as we finished dinner. We're about to lay out the spread. There's about it's probably about half an hour away. We're gonna do the dancing, and then it's time for the big feast.
That sounds delightful to me.
Does anyone need any special kind of food? We can sort that
Do you
out.
have any fish?
We have preserved fish.
Perfect.
We got preserved fish. We'll sort you out. Anyone else?
May I
As long
ask
as
a
it's
question?
we're good.
Of course.
You mentioned the last people to visit came by 4 years ago. What happened 4 years ago?
Well, someone came in and then we said hello. We did a bit of trading and then they wandered off. It's just we haven't seen anyone since then.
There is one point then, being as you've gone a long time without seeing anyone, there have been recent developments, around the surrounding areas. Have you seen anyone with an hourglass tattoo on their wrist?
No.
Well, I'm not surprised because we haven't seen anyone at all. However, if somebody does come by and they start talking about maybe you lot joining any sort of group, what have you, say
Like a
no,
band?
stop. No, like a cult.
She gasps like, a cult?
Yeah, nasty folk. If anything like that starts, and they'll be very slick about it, mind you. So be on your guard. But yeah,
Oh,
don't join them.
We'll be very careful. We'll be very careful indeed. So
Fleet Wash
fish.
over Eastway got completely obliterated by them.
Oh, that
By
sounds
them.
dreadful.
Yep.
So fish for you. Everyone else is okay with meat and vegetables.
Perfect.
All good. Excellent. I will just say, Aegis, I sent you some notes earlier that you might need to reread. Well, lovely. Come on over and let's do some dancing. And they get the old maypole out and they're holding little bits of fabric and dancing around it. And you can either join in or not. It's up to you. But definitely Faith will try and grab one of your arms and go, come join me. But we'll relinquish if you offer any resistance.
Oh, Stonk joins in wholeheartedly.
Great!
Imp will join
She
in,
starts giggling and skipping around.
Imp does also have an ulterior motive in joining in, but Imp will join in.
And then Faith, once you've started spinning around, will let go of hers, and you can see her just go off, and she just says, "I'll just go and update the cooks on I didn't catch their name, but on the fish," and goes off to talk to the cooks. You can see the cooks are in sort of a big kind of like a marquee. And they've got these big old fires going, and there's two suckling pigs roasting over a spit, and you've got some freshly baked bread and things like that.
Big old cauldron of stew.
Yeah, absolutely. And then people like industriously chopping things and getting everything ready.
Are the big fires causing like a lot of smoke?
No, not too much. So the marquee sort of slanted vertically, enough that if rain comes down, it's going to keep it off of them directly, but the smoke's just able to billow outwards.
So it's not like this place would have been particularly noticeable before because of smoke.
Yeah. So you saw the smoke as you were approaching, but you were probably about a mile away when you saw it. Maybe even less. It's quite faint, and the tree line sort of around is hiding it, letting it sort of disperse before it gets too high.
Like it's dry wood, so it's more like a white smoke rather than thick black.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, would anyone else like to do anything in particular before the meal starts?
I think Aegis is just going to kind of hang back, and he's going to be conscious of the fact he is extremely hairy right now and probably not the most presentable of folks. So he's just going to try not to make a big scene of himself. His portliness will probably aid him in kind of hiding amongst the people.
Okay, that's fair. So you're just sort of hanging back. You're watching the festivities. Everyone seems to be really enjoying themselves. A couple of people are sort of talking amongst themselves and looking over at the party. Just, you get the sort of vibe that it's because they haven't seen new people in ages. And yeah, after a little bit of time, food starts getting laid out, chairs getting put out on these big, long wooden tables out in the sunlight. And there are plates getting put down, cutlery, and eventually Faith comes over and says, "All right, if you're hungry, it's time to eat. Please follow me. Oh, especially you. Sorry, I didn't catch your name." Pointing at a one-in.
One-in.
Oh, that's a wonderful name. I'm Faith. Follow me. We've set yours up especially because, of course, you've got your dietary requirements. And anyone can just sit where they'd like otherwise.
I would like to find the merriest group of people.
Okay, you find the merriest group of people. They have been on the cider. And there's a couple of thick, pint steins of cider, and it's they've got a sort of a carafe of it in front of them as well. It looks like they've grabbed literally whatever the largest container they could find was and taken it to a keg and filled it up and just put it in the middle of the table to fill up on. And yeah, you can sit down next to them, and the rest of you all sit down, and Faith goes up to the cooks and just points to where the adventurers are in general and just says, just points out where they are, so that they're aware of your food, and especially for a one-in. And then they will come back and sit down and eat. And
Aegis will actually not take a seat at the table. I think Aegis will walk over towards the cooks with, you say their name's Faith?
Faith, yeah.
Faith. Aegis will wander over towards the cooks and be like, "Would you mind if I peruse your selection of meats?"
They go, one of the cooks goes, a big burly man with a lot of chest hair, looks at you and goes, "What are you planning?"
it's just my wife. She's a wonderful cook, and I get to see all sorts of wonderful dishes. I was curious to see what kind of meats you've got in your supplies. Maybe we can take some back to Airedale with us as a part of our trade.
All right, but I'll have my eyes on you. You better not contaminate anything.
Of course, I wouldn't dream of it.
And he takes you basically back to one of the larger buildings. There's a stone building, and there's a descending stairs to a basement. Because, as you know, you would know, especially being married to Frida, the underground stays cool longer as things get warmer. So all the cool things are downstairs. So it takes you in, and there are some hanging racks of meat inside. And you can recognize there's things like there's venison, there are 2 drained cows like just hanging there, there's pigs, that sort of thing. There's quite a bit. It seems like this area is really well stocked. Like they've got a lot of meat here. If they could probably withstand, if they had walls, they don't, but if they had walls, they could withstand a siege for quite a long time with the amount of food they've got. So they've either gotten really lucky last year, or they've just got loads of food.
A veritable bounty. Wow.
Yeah, we do our best.
So I don't know all that much about this stuff myself, but maybe I could take some home to my wife, and she could see what you've got, and we could arrange a more substantial trade. So, how much would it cost me to take maybe a leg of boar or something, and I could take it back home to her?
All right, why not? And he gets out a butcher's knife, grabs one of the boars, puts it on a slab, cuts off the leg, wraps it in wax paper, and says, "That'll be 1 silver piece."
Perfect, wonderful. Yes, I will take that gladly.
Hands it over to you, and says, "Yeah, no problem."
He just runs it under his nose, gives a real sniff, and is like drooling.
Well, if you're that hungry, you better get back to your seat pretty quick, or everyone else will have eaten everything. In fact, I've got to go back. We best be dishing up.
Yes. That's
all right. And they go back, and yeah, you can see that the food's getting dished up now. Steaming plates of vegetables are coming out, and someone's carrying like one of the whole suckling pigs on a massive tray and puts it down in the middle, and people are getting ready with like their sharp knives. Someone's going about pouring drinks. Actually, it's probably it's Fayef's pouring drinks. So it comes up to Imp and says, can I get you anything? I've got, and she's like juggling 3 carafes. I've got water, I've got cider, I've even got a little red wine.
What's the hardest you got? I've got to do some catching up to these folks.
Probably the wine.
The wine it is.
All right, and she starts sort of juggling them, and then pours some wine for you, and then goes over to a one and says, "What can I get you? I've got water, cider, red wine."
Wine, thanks.
Okay, pours more armpit wine out. It's not from her armpit, but that's just where she's holding it. Goes over to Tattle. "Hello, can I get you a drink? Water, cider, red wine?"
Okay. I'm gonna say Tattle's basically just been sort of stood near a fire and she's basically just been using control fire just to make sort of random druidic runes appear, and just sort of staying apart from everyone. But she looks up and says, "Oh yeah, I'll have some red wine if you got any going."
Okay, more armpit wine gets poured out. A couple of the kids have been looking at that and have been like watching the shapes, and they're like, "Ooh." And then over to Stonk. Maestro. Well, what can I get you? Water, cider, red wine?
What would you consider your local specialty drink?
Our cider's pretty good, but our red wine's kind of like the special stuff that we save for special occasions. Because I don't know if you've noticed, there aren't any vineyards around here.
Then where do you get the wine?
We've had this wine for 15 years.
Oh, and did you have vineyards back then?
No, we traded for it.
Oh, okay. Well, then it hopefully preserved well.
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. I've already had 2 glasses.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay, I'll have some of your red wine.
You can see her cheeks are very rosy now. She pours a bit of armpit wine for you and goes over to Aegis, who's now sitting down. Can I get you anything? Water, cider, red wine?
Yes, I'll take some wine. My wife, she runs a vineyard in Airedale, actually. Maybe there's some extra trade we could get going on here. We haven't had our first vintage yet, but yes, working towards it. Thank you.
That would be wonderful. Where's Airedale? What's it called? Sorry?
Airedale. It's
Airedale.
It's just 8 miles to the east. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it.
We don't get out that much.
Interesting for a trading town.
Well, when people come here, we trade with them, but otherwise, we've got everything we need. Bountiful food, you know.
Where does all of that come from?
Well, we've got the rivers, they're well stocked. The fields and the forest are full of boar and cows. Not that way around, the other way around.
It's just curious that our 2 villages have never come across each other before, seeing as we are effectively neighbors, but...
we're quite hidden away.
Oh, odd.
Quite hidden away, yeah. She pauses your armpit wine, and then goes back to Orwan and says, "Sorry, I forgot about your doggy friend."
Oh, he's eating fish with me.
I mean, would he like some water? Or cider, I suppose, but...
Water would be wonderful.
Okay, she pours some water from another armpit and then heads off to go and says, I'll just go and get myself some food and, well, we can all celebrate. And yeah, she goes, grabs herself some food from the main table. And you spend about 2 or 3 hours with all of them, and they're all very merry. They're all very cheerfully talking about last year's harvest, which was fantastic. It seemed like the Lord of Rotten Ruin had blessed the crops that year. They're looking forward to a really good one this year. The beasts of the land have been wonderful. The rivers have been really well stocked, although there was a weird thing that happened where the rivers drained for a little bit, but they're not, everything seems okay now. And the fish stocks seem okay still. And yeah, it's just been lovely. It's been idyllic.
Tattle casts Speak with Animals as a ritual and then looks immediately spends the entire party looking for dogs to speak to.
Okay. I must once again stress that casting something as a ritual is very, very visible. Like, you're getting out chalks and drawing like magic circles and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, people are kind of looking at you burning herbs or whatever, and communing with the primal spirits of nature to gain the ability to speak with animals. But they kind of just assume you're being a bit weird, and they're like, okay.
Tattle just looks up and shrugs and says, "Druid stuff."
They go, okay. Do you need anything, or?
No, I just need to draw this circle in the dirt, and that's about everything.
All right. Well, as long as you're happy. Yeah, so you do that, and then you're able to talk to some of the animals around. There are 2 village dogs. They're kind of like guard dogs. They've been growling at Vintage a lot, and now that you can speak with animals, you can hear them saying, "Our village, don't replace us. Our village."
Tattle says, "Don't worry, we'll be moving along soon enough."
What is Vintage saying in reply?
Vintage is saying, "Fuck off."
Wow.
Vintage has only dealt with grumpy animals, I think, for like the entire like D&D campaign. He's getting pissed off.
Plus he has a -2 to Christmas, so like,
yeah. So this is about, this is like a couple of hours in at this point that the dogs calm down a little bit, and they're a little bit more trustworthy of you, because a human talking dog is not there doesn't appear to be a druid in the village. They're not used to this.
Excuse you, a tiefling?
Sorry, a humanoid talking to dogs is more accurate. Yes. So they're not used to that concept. So it takes them a little while, during which, of course, you go through several courses of food. The desserts come out, trifle. And, the dogs eventually start talking and say, strange that you can talk to us. What gives you the right?
What gives me the right?
Dog is best language.
I don't know. Have you ever spoken wolf?
I don't like wolves.
They can be a bit, cliquey.
No, well, they're weird. They read weird things on the, on the bark. They hear weird things, weird stories about people who can turn into wolves. I don't like that. People are people. Well, dogs are dogs. That separation is good, really, because dogs do dog things. People do people things.
Please don't tell me these dogs are racist.
No, actually, what it is wolves are sovereign citizens, and keep hearing conspiracy theories on the internet. But the dogs are like, it's a good deal we got going on. We get lots of food and belly rubs and head scratches, and we get to sleep by the fire, and all we gotta do is bark at things, which is what we do anyway. Why don't wolves do that? Stupid.
Problem is, when one wolf hears something, they tell all the others, and they'll say a mate of theirs heard it. They'll say a mate of theirs heard it. Yeah. And everyone just assumes, all the wolves just assume the one he told them had it confirmed for sure.
Yeah. Silly. Only listen to the human people, or tiefling people, or elf people, or dwarf people. Although maybe not that dwarf people. I'm getting a weird smell off of that one.
Oh, don't worry about him. He had a fight with a wolf recently. Linged a bit.
That doesn't sound right. Don't like that. Don't like it. Don't like the smell. Smells bad. Although it smells kind of good. Smell fresh meat. Love meat. Are you going to drop any food for me? And the dog's like, come right over to you. He's like, are you going to drop any food for me? Have you got anything on that plate?
Tattle subtly drops a bit of meat to the floor. Because of course she's going to feed the doggos.
So meat drops to the floor. Aegis, you immediately smell that. But the dogs go for it, and they're like, food, meat. And their tails are wagging and wagging and wagging and wagging. I like you.
Aww.
I'm going to miss you.
Aww.
Who knows? Maybe I'll pass through again one day.
Oh, probably not.
You don't get many visitors around here.
Oh, we do. They just don't come back.
Suppose this is a small settlement. Is it just the locals around here then?
Yeah, just the locals. And the person in a cloak who visits sometimes.
A cloak, you say?
Yeah, looks comfy.
What do they? Any idea what they look like under their cloak?
Like a lizard.
A lizard?
Yeah. Or scaly.
Yeah. What do you make of them from the smell and the like?
They smell like fire.
Fire.
But then a lot of this place smells like fire. I can smell fire now.
Yeah. Tattle sort of gestures at a nearby fire and makes it turn into a little copy of the dog she's speaking to.
Oh. Get away, dog. You ever shown a dog a picture of a dog? Because they fucking hate it.
Yeah, Tattle giggles and pets the dog.
I'm gonna miss you.
The image. Would the image of a lizard folk in a cloak who smells of fire be sort of ring any bells for Tattle, or?
No, not in this case.
Okay.
Right, yeah. Gonna miss you. It's a shame you drank the wine. Can I get a Constitution saving throw from everyone, please?
Is this a save against poison?
It is.
Okay, I get an advantage on this.
It's Aegis time.
Stonk wanted to do something. Didn't get a chance to before this.
Guess he
When
rolled a
did you want
natural
to do it?
20.
18.
Before we ate,
I did ask if anyone wanted to do anything.
Yes.
Okay, I will need not just like natural 20, I'll need to know the modifiers.
Oh, 22, sorry.
22, okay.
23 for me.
23 for Aegis, good.
18 for him.
18 for Imp, okay.
16.
16 for a 1, and I will need one for Vintage as well.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, the vintage was in the water.
Yep.
Interesting.
It's almost like Faith poisoned all 3 of the carafes.
Is Tattle still able to ask the dog about a bit more about the wine at this point, or?
I'll let you know once I have everyone's scores.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Is anyone immune to poison? Or the poisoned condition?
Stonk got 18.
Stonk got 18. Okay, well, the DC was 25.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, ingest poisons. They are a little bit harder to avoid because they're a lot harder to administer. And this one's an expensive one. So all of you start to feel very groggy and you feel your eyelids just dip and dim. And you're like, so sleepy now. So sleepy. And you all fall unconscious. And you awake in a dark and dingy basement. You have been stripped of your armor.
Nick,
Except a 1 in. Yes?
question. Would Tattle have a chance to cast Lesser Restoration on herself before she comes?
Technically speaking, it happens immediately.
Okay.
That was more of a narrative thing. Let me see. Would you have had a chance for that? Ooh.
You touch a creature that can end one disease or one condition afflicting it. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned, so I'm not actually sure that would help anyway.
It would prevent the poisoned. I tell you what, Tattle. What you can do is you can apply it to yourself, because you're going to have to be really quick. You will still end up unconscious, but I will give you a benefit when you wake up. So you're like getting half the energy, and I will say it won't cost you a spell slot.
Okay, fair enough then.
Because this thing technically acts instantly, but I have narratively said it started happening gradually. So, yeah, you all awaken, stripped of arms and armor, in a dark room, no windows, and one door. You are tied to wooden stakes, and in front you can see a magical symbol on the ground, and 8 people in cult robes. They are not hooded. You can see them as the people who were eating with you. Faith is there. They are wearing sickles, curved ritual knives and clubs, and they are praying. They don't seem to have realized you've woken up. They've got sort of their eyes closed in prayer, got their hands up, and they are praying in Draconic. Does anyone speak that?
I do not.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So a
One
1 in.
speaks all languages.
Basically, yeah, rangers do speak a lot of languages. So what you're hearing is them. They are They are beseeching. I'm not going to like write out a speech because this is technically a random encounter. Also, by the way, this is a one-ins complication. The information you got was false and actually harmful for one of the encounters. The others were accurate, but one of them was false and harmful. What you are hearing is they are, as you listen, they are trying to create a portal to the hells to bring through the dead spirit of a red dragon. Technically speaking, a Dracolich. And they are going to sacrifice all of you to power the ritual.
Would I recognize this as such a ritual?
You would recognize, yeah, you're a warlock. You'd recognize, this is the kind of thing warlocks do. Are you a fiend pact?
No. Explain.
Okay, so of course, yeah. So it would be a little difficult for you to recognize it. You're not going to get everything because a fiend pact, yeah, you'd absolutely get this. Like, this is the fiend nonsense, right? But you've done a few things like this before, you know. Who hasn't?
I've dabbled.
You've dabbled, yeah. You'd recognize this as well. So you don't know who is being entreated because you don't speak Draconic, but you do know that this is a portal to hell sort of thing that's going on here, and things are going to get a lot worse. Now, Tattle, your benefit is that before you were knocked unconscious, you were able to secret one weapon on yourself. If you have a dagger, I'd recommend something like that. It'd have to be something small, but you've got a weapon. Your choice what it is. It could even have been like a knife from the dinner table or something like that, which we'd count as a dagger, but you have something.
Could it be would it be too much of a stretch to say I managed to hold on to my staff of the Python?
That would be way too much because they would take that off you.
Okay.
It would have to be something that you can hide on yourself.
Would Stonk still have his instruments?
Your instruments are not on you either, just mainly because they didn't feel the need to bring them with you. It wasn't a case of, oh, we've got to disarm the bard. It's more, well, we're not going to need this where we're going. Sort of thing. We're not carrying the instruments as well when we drag this body in. But yeah,
what about a one-inch hat?
A one-inch hat. What did the hat look like? It's a bucket hat, isn't it?
A bucket hat with the fishing lures and stuff.
I'm going to roll to see if it's fallen off. It's still on. You've got the hat.
Excellent.
Is the hat magical in any way?
It's just my focus.
It's your focus. Yeah, I'll allow that. I'll allow that. So yeah, Tattle, you can have like a dagger or something if you'd like.
Yeah. We'll just say Tattle managed to take a knife from the dinner table because she ironically doesn't actually have any daggers on her.
Yeah, you took a knife from the dinner table. It's a good like serrated like steak knife sort of affair. So it'll be nice. You're all bound. The ropes are not very tight because I don't think they expected you to actually wake up. But you're all adventurers. You're not commoners. You've got a little bit more. You've got higher hit points basically. So you're going to survive a little longer.
Nick, I have a question about the Boon of Fontaine.
Go on.
Do I need to have my hands free to be able to?
Nope.
Bring that forth.
You just have to have line of sight on the thing you're looking at. You don't. It's not even verbal. You just entreat you entreat Fontaine in your mind, basically.
Okay, noted.
Yeah, that could be really cool. And everyone else, if you've got verbal spells, you're not gagged. Your hands are bound, so somatic spells won't work until you can free your hands. You've got no weapons, so you'll have to find something if you like using weapons. But they've got weapons. You could maybe take them off them or something like that.
I do have a plan.
Okay.
The first thing I'd like to do is make a dagger in my hand.
Pact blade. Love it.
Yes. Tattle would like to. Whoever's nearest to Tattle would like to start cutting through their ropes, just cutting through their restraints. Okay,
I'll have you in the order that your images are on screen. So from left to right, it is Stonk, Tattle, Aegis, a one-in, Imp. So you can choose either Stonk or Aegis. Or your own.
Okay, I think Castle's going to whisper to Stonk. Okay, Bard, go time. And start cutting through Stonk's restraints.
It's worth noting, Stonk, you don't need a musical instrument to cast all of your spells. It's only ones that have a material component that you'll need one for.
That's an M next to the S or M on the sheet.
Yeah. If it has an S, you need your hands free. But if it's just V, you can do it whenever you want. Obviously, at the moment, they don't know you're awake, so bear that in mind. But, you know.
Yeah, I've got a list of those that require the focus, which means material components. But a lot of us do need somatic as well. So I'm looking at what the options are.
Well, luckily, Tattle is cutting through your restraints right now.
Yeah, also, for what it's worth, can I also bonus action some rocks into magic stones for everyone to use?
I think you'd find that difficult with your hands bound.
But Stonk already has free use of his hands, or it needs to wait still?
Not yet. You'll have to wait. The cutting is happening right now. I'm sort of just getting a general action from everyone. And then if we have to go into initiative, which I imagine we will when combat starts, we'll sort of go more formally into it there. So if there's nothing you can do right now, you can always wait. That's fine. There's no, you don't have to be working on things right now. But yeah, whatever you want to do, really.
Oh, also another question. Is this area lit by flames?
Yes, a lot of dribbly candles going on.
Yep. And is everyone, all the villagers that tied us up? No, wait, you said one of them was a tiefling, didn't you?
I didn't. Yes, I did. Faef's a tiefling.
Okay. Oh, never mind then. Putting out the lights probably won't do that much then.
Yeah, there's a tiefling, 2 dwarfs, an elf, an owl.
So
are any of the flames near anything flammable?
Yes, everyone has dark vision because I'm a dickhead.
I see the squeeze on the other foot.
Sorry, what was the question?
Are any of the flames near anything flammable?
Let me think. There's a few bits of paper nearby, near some of the candles. They're reading from instructions.
Within 5 feet thereof.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna also, as I'm cutting through this, I'm also going to hold an action to use control flames to basically, cause the flames to move to those.
Sure, we'll get to that next sort of group of actions because you're doing one thing for now. But yeah, you can definitely do that in the next sort of group around.
As a point, control flames is somatic.
Yeah, that's why I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, fair. Aegis, what about you? Is there anything you particularly want to do right now?
I think Aegis, being the person that knows the least about any sort of magical anything, will be slightly confused about what's going on, aware that it is not good, but he's definitely going to hold off to wait and see what the others are doing or saying before doing anything. But
that sounds good.
He has his god Fontaine in his mind.
Yeah, that sounds great. And a 1 in?
A 1 in's.
By the way, Vintage is not in the room.
Oh.
A 1 in, you can use your claws to try and cut the rope if you would like to.
Yes. Excellent.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I mean, if you've got like natural weapons that are slashing, they can't remove your claws from you. So that's totally fine. You can use that to try and cut the ropes. They've probably not considered that they're that sharp because they've not yet felt them. Vintage is not in the room. You don't know where Vintage is. But probably somewhere. So that's sort of the first round of actions. So we have Tattle cuts through Stonk's bonds. Imp summons a blade. And we're ready to go with the second group of actions. As I roll to see if they notice. That can happen in the second group of actions. You're not getting a full complement of action, bonus action on that. We're not, because otherwise I'd need an initiative roll. I'm going to see if they notice the cutting. They do not. That was an atrocious roll. So, they don't notice the sounds of snapping rope as the cutting continues. So, Stonk, you now have your hands free. Wherein, you have your hands free. Imp, you have a dagger and you're ready to go and you can start cutting. Tattle, who are you cutting more rope or are you doing something else?
Yep, I think I'll start cutting my own restraints.
Okay.
See, Tattle's reasoning here is basically that she and Stonk can basically cast spells, but Aegis is obviously unarmed, so he can just be tactical by speaking.
Well, all right. I mean, he's the tank. It depends if you need the tank to be in the way of all of the sickles.
He's less
and blades.
tanky without his armor and his shield.
Is he though? Like realistically, but okay. So that's a good idea. So you start cutting through your own restraints. Stonk, is there anything you would like to do?
Oh, can I change that? I'll cut through Aegis' restraints because I have another way to get out.
Okay, so you cut through Aegis' restraints. Stonk, what would you like to do? You've got your hands free now. Obviously, if you do anything loud, that will draw their attention and they'll immediately start attacking you. And anyone not cut loose will have the restrained condition.
Stonk is going to whisper inspiring words to Aegis to give him bardic inspiration.
I like that. That's nice. So Aegis, you've got a bardic inspiration die. Okay, over to one, and your hands are now free.
I'm gonna wait.
You're just gonna wait. You're just gonna hold on. That's okay. Wait for everyone to sort of be free. Imp, am I right in assuming you're cutting your own ropes?
Yes.
So you're working on that as well. So with a lower DC now, because more things are happening, I'm going to see if they notice. Okay. They still do not notice. It was a lot closer this time, though. I had to mentally do some maths there to work out if they don't notice. Okay, we go another round. So now, who's loose? Aegis is loose. Stonk is loose. Imp is loose. Wherein is loose. The only person not loose now is Tattle. Tattle, you said you had another way of getting yourself loose. What's the plan?
Since they haven't noticed yet, so I'm going to just start cutting myself free anyway.
Okay, that's fine. That makes sense. Stonk, are you doing anything?
Yeah. How far are they?
They're about 10 feet away from you.
And we're all sitting close together.
Yeah, you're all sort of you're stood bound to these stakes. Well, you're no longer bound, but that's sort of where you all are.
Means can't do Thunder Wave yet.
That would alert them for sure.
If we're starting combat then anyway, but yeah, then I would also be hitting
soon,
potentially.
Let me give you numbers as well. There are 7 people in this room that aren't you.
Aegis is going to whisper over to Stonk. Just talk them down. We don't need this to end up in bloodshed.
Are you sure about that?
If I hear this, I would absolutely mentally speak to both of them. No. This is gonna be a massacre. We're gonna kill them. But
do you have the ability to mentally speak to them?
Yes, they can't respond, but I can telepath
cool.
to people that are within sight.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I just wanted to double check because I don't know, Wallace get all sorts of powers.
No,
that's great.
Can Tassel shoot in Palurk, or wouldn't she be hearing this?
Priority one there would be the people doing the speaking.
Okay.
Stonk just nods in agreement to Enfys and holds off the attack for a moment and instead inspires a Wherein.
Okay, a Wherein, you've got bardic inspiration. So Aegis, Wherein, Imp, you're all unbound now. Is there anything else you would like to do before we go to the next round in which everyone will be unbound and I'm assuming combat will be beginning?
Can I use my 1 free non-verbal, non-somatic, and non-material cast of Detect Thoughts.
That's fine, yeah.
Excellent. I would like to use this to speak to everybody, and then I can read their surface thoughts to get a reply. And to coordinate ourselves so that our first move is all together as like a bunch of ready actions.
Okay. Just double checking. Okay. Yep.
That's a telepathic feat, by the way, if you wanna.
Oh no, that's not the bit I was
the spell.
checking. I was checking the spell just in case, like turning it on the radar's like surface level happens to alert people, because I knew it alerts people if you delve deeper, but I couldn't remember if it alerts people if you like ping them. But no, you're fine to ping them without doing it. So that's great. You can read their surface thoughts and get an idea of what they're planning. I was reading my teammates' surface thoughts as a way of allowing them to reply to me. Ah, smart. Okay,
So
that's really cool.
Actions together. Yeah.
So you can ask them things, and of course, they can then just think it, and you know the response. The only thing is, no one else knows the response except you.
Yes,
I suppose you can broadcast it back. Though.
I am effectively. I'm like a switchboard operator right now.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I like that. That's a really smart use of that combination of abilities. That's great. So yeah, let's functionally say you can all now communicate. Because you functionally can, it's going to take a little bit longer, but you can communicate and coordinate a plan if you would like. So go for it. What's the plan?
Okay. So for my part, I can cast Magic Stone for anyone who needs a weapon. And I can also, I can use, as I mentioned before, I can actually in the same round, I can use Control Flame to basically set their papers on fire.
I'm going to do the best I can to Nova the leader. I have a spell that lets me do extra damage. I'm going to use it. They're going to light up like a Christmas tree.
How long do you think we have before this ritual completes?
Would I have an idea of that?
You can make an Arcana check.
I can absolutely make an Arcana check. That was a terrible roll, though. Let me check my...
Anyone else who's particularly good at satanic stuff? No, before you say Tattle, no, being a tiefling does not make you good at satanic stuff. I would say, actually, you know what? Who I'm going to allow this for?
17.
Stonk, you can offer assistance and grant advantage if you'd like.
I was just thinking, considering how metal he is.
Yeah, because you got the metal. Yeah. Satan's on your side.
So I get advantage, yeah?
Yeah, you get advantage.
That's worse. 18.
18's still pretty good.
No, hold up. I went the wrong way. 8 from 9, 17.
17. So with a 17, you can tell that this is obviously not a complete ritual because the dragon hasn't come through from the hells. Well, you don't know about the dragon bit, although I suppose a one-in has now had a chance to tell you.
Oh yeah, dragon.
Yeah. About that. You reckon this is near completion, though. The next thing really will be to stab you all in the heart.
Yeah, that says that they're not going to do Stalk down because the ritual's almost done. We just need attack, so everybody pick an attack and get ready.
You've got at most a minute before they finish what they're doing, you reckon?
So my plan for this turn was to use Mage Hand and have the Fib Swarm kind of knock over the furthest away candle.
Nice. So you and Tattle can create 2 conflagrations.
Also, question, can I also hand my knife to Aegis, since he could probably use a melee weapon and Tattle doesn't really need one?
You can do that next turn, because at the moment you're still cutting through. But next turn, absolutely. So what we're going to do, because we sort of have a plan now. Oh, I didn't hear from Stonk. Stonk, what's the plan?
I honestly think Stonk's plan is to run into the group and cast Thunderwave, assuming he can get far away enough from the party.
Closely packed are the group, the enemy group.
And how big is the room?
Room's 10 foot by 10 foot.
Okay, then Thunderwave really isn't an option because...
Probably 15 by 15 now I think about it, with the number of people down here. 15 by 15.
Cube.
I mean, you don't... You know, the 15-foot cube can start... You can start in front of your allies so that it's 15 foot in front of you and it just hits the walls.
Oh, yeah, true.
That'll still get everyone.
Yeah, Stonk is
apart from your allies. Yeah,
And
okay.
I can smash a lot of people with Fontaine's gift.
Certainly can.
Yeah,
Right
one
then.
plan for the next turn was just jump on the nearest person with the claws.
Okay. Just going to... tell you what, roll me initiative now. Because we know it's happening at some point, and I might as well get the numbers in.
Oh, sweet.
19.
21.
22.
So, 21 for Tattle, 22 for Stonk. Was
23.
that 23 for Imp?
I rolled an 18.
What did Aegis get?
Am I finally rolling a good initiative and I'm still going last? I got 19.
19. And what about a 1 in?
14.
14. Amusingly, almost all of you are going before the cultists anyway, even if you had alerted them. So I'm going to roll one final d20 to see if during the rope cutting they notice you, because if they do, Tattle will still be restrained for the first round of combat. Yeah, they do notice you. I'm sorry. Rolled a 16 plus a wisdom bonus of 3. So I set the DC at 15 for them to spot you. Faith turns around and goes, "Hey, she's got a knife." And the others all turn around and draw their curved blades, their sickles, and their clubs, and they get ready to wail on you.
Hey, they've got a knife.
Look out! However, top of the round, it's Imp.
Go time. Bonus action, branding smite. And the mirror just suddenly glows like radiance. The mirror blade off the dagger.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna rush forward to the boss person and just shank him.
So you go to Shank Faeth.
Yep.
All right. Give me a roll.
I want eyes on me as much as possible so that teammates can finish doing what the teammates are doing. That's a 17.
17 will hit. Roll damage.
That's a dagger. Actually, that'll grab the wrong d4. A 2 plus 5, that's 7 piercing, plus branding smite.
Yes. Time for the nuclear option.
I've been waiting so long to have this as a go-to. 2d6 plus 1d6 per spell level above second. But it's a second level spell, so just 2d6. 5 plus 4 is 9 radiant.
9 radiant.
9 radiant.
Okay. A good first strike. And Faith goes, ah, ah.
And for the
The
record,
power of the gods.
for the record, she cannot benefit from invisibility for the duration of the spell.
Aw,
This does mean I have dropped detectables.
that sucks. Okay. And so over then to Tattle. Tattle, you are restrained. You are still gonna have to cut through or do something else.
Okay, I'm gonna cut through. As I'm
Okay.
doing this, I'm going to make eye contact with Faye and say an infernal. You shouldn't be worried about the knife at all. And smirk a bit.
Fayev goes, I'm not really worried at all.
Question: do I have to spend my entire turn freeing myself, or would I have time to hand the knife over to Aegis?
You would spend your action cutting yourself loose. After that, though, you can move, bonus action, and also item action to hand a knife to Aegis. That's all fine.
Oh, cool. In that case, I'll also bonus action magic stone. So I'll just reach the ground, pick up some stones, press them into the dirt.
Sure.
And mutter something.
So you create some magical stones, and are you handing a knife to Aegis?
Yep.
Sweet. Aegis, you got a knife.
Oh, now I have a knife.
What do you got there, Aegis? A knife. No.
Yes.
Okay, we go to Stonk.
Stonk
There is a room full of cultists. The doom music is starting to play.
Is it Stonk playing it?
No instruments, unfortunately. This is going to be like a good whistle or a good bit of humming. Throat singing or something.
Yeah, Stonk is just running up to the cultists and casting Thunderwave at them.
Yeah, so you step in front of your allies, you bring your hands forward, you go woomph. All right, it's save time, isn't it? Is it strength or constitution? Because I forget every single time. Constitution, excellent. All right, well, I will start with Faith, who's got a higher constitution. Faith has rolled a 9, so that's going to be a failure. And Faith's buddy has rolled a 13. What's your DC?
15.
15, so that's 2 failures already. And then the remaining cultists, 1 passes, so I'm going to call that one Cultist 4, because that's the next one in initiative, and that just makes life easier for me. That's a 14, so that's a failure, so Cultist 3 fails. Cultist 1 fails. Cultist 5 fails. I'm going to try shaking this a bit more, because I've rolled the same number 3 times in a row. Let's go. No, that's worse. Fails. And the last cultist passes with a 19. Okay. So, everyone fails except for 2 cultists. Roll your damage.
I rolled an 11.
11 points. So, Faith takes 11. Faith's buddy takes 11. Cultist 4 takes 11. Oh, that kills Cultist 4, so that's 1 down. 1 gets blown into the back of the wall, knocks her head against the back and cracks her head and is dead. Cultist 3 is not dead because took half of that, so bloodied though, so also gets knocked back, but is a little bit dazed. And this one's a dwarf, and he looks at you and is like, oh. Ooh, all right. 2 more cultists also flew into the wall and died because they failed, and then the last one that passed has also been bloodied. Oof, that is a heavy hit. And now we've all learnt why you don't throw a grenade underground. All right. Hell of an action there, Stonk. 3 enemies down, and almost every enemy bloodied.
Yeah, Stonk is a bit upset at the turn of events, and is just kind of raging somewhat, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. You still have a bonus action if you want to do anything else.
Yes, he's going to get Bardic Inspiration to Enfys.
Okay. Imp, you have Bardic Inspiration. We go to Aegis. Aegis, you're free. You have a knife.
How many of the cultists are left now?
There are 4 total cultists, including Faith and Faith's friend, who seems like a dire cultist, right? So 2 normal level cultists, 2 dire cultists are left.
Would you say they're all within 5 foot of each other?
They're not all within 5 feet of each other at all.
That's a shame.
They've been blown into the back walls, but they're sort of 15 feet. There are 2 within 5 feet of each other, I will say. 1 dire cultist and 1 cultist.
Okay. Aegis first will grab a Stonk from behind and switch places and do a bait and switch.
Okay. Not the other way around this time. Not the other way. Not grabbing imp and throwing imp forwards.
Not this time. He wants to be in front this time.
I'll protect you. Imp uses imp as shield.
It was a valid tactic. Right. So that gives you, or gives one of us a 1d8. Gotta find the d8s. Oh yeah, they are. Here we go. All right. Oh, it's only a 2. A +2 to AC, so I think I'll take that as I'm in front.
+2 is good. I mean, people will kill literally for +2 to AC. So, you know, that's very rare tier magic armor is +2, so it's not bad.
Okay. So that takes my AC back up to 16, and that's a bonus action. And for my action, I will call forth the boon of Fontaine.
Okay.
Smash the dire cultist and the cultists with DC 12 dex throw.
DC 12 dex save. Okay, let me check their dex. All right, we'll start with the dire cultist. What do we got? That is a 12 exactly, I'm afraid. We will start with. We'll then go for the smaller one, which has lower dex. So that's a natural 20. So I'm afraid both have passed. I know, I'm genuinely shocked. I don't roll high ever, so I'm not 100% sure what's going on there. Yep.
So the pillar rises up. I'm assuming the ceiling is less than 20 feet high.
Yeah, it's 10 feet up.
Yeah. So the pillar rises up, smashes into the ceiling, and then just crumbles because that's what it does when it collides.
What were you saying, Enfys?
I was going to question the state of the pillar once it had reached its maximum.
It crumbles to dust afterwards, just like all of Fontaine's creations.
Hey.
What? It does. That's what Fontaine's all about. There's a whole plot line in the Guild of Icons about it. Right. Okay. Anything else, Aegis?
No, that's me.
All right, you're good. We go to Cultist 3, who's against the back wall and feeling a bit hurt, is going to run towards Stonk, because Stonk did this.
And you'd have to get past me.
Then it's going to have to run towards Aegis. Draws a curved blade that glows orange, and little embers flicker off of it. And rolls a 19 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
It hits. So you are going to take 4 slashing damage. And the blade sears your flesh, and you take 5 fire damage.
Okay, so the slashing damage is halved because my lycanthropy curse gives me resistance to slashing, so that is 7 damage total then.
Yep, 7 total damage. You get the feeling there that, well, no, actually, you don't get a feeling at all of why this is happening. Imp, you seeing this, and probably to some extent a one-in can put the pieces together and understand this is probably a power gifted to them by the Red Draco Lich. A dark devotion of some kind. That's the cultists go, and we go to a one-in.
A one-in's gonna...
So do you want an update of the picture of where everyone is as well?
Yeah.
So most of the PCs are still in a line at the back. Aegis is in front of all of you, sort of providing some cover. There's a cultist right in front of Aegis, and all the other cultists are on the back wall holding their head and going, ow.
I think I'm gonna run up to Faith.
Okay.
You know, Naruto run.
Naruto run to Faith.
Yeah. Claws gleaming in the candlelight.
Okay.
And go for a claw attack while yelling, "Where is my dog?"
Oh yeah. Oh god. We've created a John Wick. Okay. It would be heartbreaking to me if Faith gets no-goes in this combat.
That was a 16 to hit.
16 hits. Roll damage.
6 plus 1. plus the d6. Okay, that is 7 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then my fibs that are, swarming around me at all times. Yeah, do an extra 6 piercing damage.
Ooh, yeah, Faith dies. Straight to the ground. Just a cleaved chest there and studded with fish, which must be a very unusual way to die. But yeah, Faith dies in agony. But, in fairness, the kind of agony she was going to inflict on all of you. Okay, with that done, we go to the cult fanatic. The dire cultist, sorry. Who is still up and is going to... Ooh, a 4th level spellcaster, eh?
Oh, Nick, I've got a question.
Oh?
So this dire cultist... What colour did he dye his robes?
Red.
Of course.
Yes. Is going to use a bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon. So a Spiritual Weapon appears next to Stonk. Oh, no, it's going to be next to... Ooh, would it be next to Stonk or a 1-in? Both of them have been major threats. Aegis is a big threat as well, but one of them's killed Faith, one of them has almost killed everyone else. I think Stonk, because Stonk has actually injured the dire cultist. So a spiritual weapon appears, so this glowing black blade appears right next to you, floating next to you. And it is going to attack you. That is cocked. Let me try that again. Okay, that is an unnatural 20 to hit.
Oh yeah, that's hitting.
Okay, and that is going to deal... let me just see. I've got to check 2 stat blocks to work out how much spiritual weapon deals. So that is going to be 5 points of force damage.
Okay.
And then, because that's its bonus action, it is going to rush over to a 1-in. And it is going to attack with its dagger twice.
Is there potential for an attack of opportunity there?
From Aegis? No, because the 1-in's up at the front rank now.
Okay.
A 1-in's broke ranks to kill Faith.
The room is very small, though.
Yeah, at most, he's not leaving Aegis's reach, he's at most entering it, which means no attack of opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
First one is a miss, though. That's not hitting, an 11.
No.
Second one against a 1-in. That is better. That is an 18. Does that hit your AC?
That does.
You've got that shit. Okay. So that is going to be... It's just a dagger. It's not too much.
It's a dagger I see before me.
It is a dagger you see before you stabbing you. That is 3 points of piercing damage. And again, it sears your skin and you take 4 points of fire damage.
So it's 7 points.
7 points total. Yeah, that's right. That's the cult fanatics go. And we go to the last cultist. Well, there's 2 cultists up, but this is the last one to have a go. This one's going to Aegis. Runs over to you.
Snarls.
Oh, yes. He's going for you with a scimitar. That is... what is that numbers? 21 to hit.
I am going to use the Bardic Inspo this time.
Yeah. Adding to your AC, yeah. Don't forget you got +2 to it as well. So yeah. It's a tough roll. It's possible, but you're gonna have to get a 5 or a 6.
Okay. I got a 4.
Oh, it just hits. Oh, you feel Stonk's advice and energy and valor coursing through you, and you go to raise a shield that isn't there. You're just so used to obviously holding it. And yeah, you take the bite of the blade. Unfortunate. You are going to take 3 points of slashing damage. halved to 1, of course.
Yeah.
And the searing 6 points of fire damage this time. That was a max roll on the fire damage. That's the cultist go. We get an imp.
Okay.
So let me paint a picture for you. Aegis is in front of everyone except a 1-in. A 1 is right at the front. But Aegis is sort of covering all of you. There is a floating blade next to Stonk that is causing difficulties. There is 2 cultists are locked down in front of Aegis. 1 dire cultist, 1 normal cultist. And there is 1 cultist also right in front. Sorry, the dire cultist is with a 1-in. The 2 normal cultists are locked down on Aegis. Everyone else is dead.
Do they have? They don't have advantage on Aegis based on how they're positioned.
No, position-wise, they're not getting advantage.
Okay, good. And I saw the one that casts spiritual weapon.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take a lovely stroll around as I'm doing this. I'm just gonna, as everybody's like attacking and dodging, trading, what have you. I'm just walking around the edge of like the room, kind of to get to where I want to be, so I can get behind the. I think it was the dire cultist that casts spiritual.
That's right, and is right in front of a 1-in, so there's a little bit of space there to get behind him.
Yep. As I'm approaching him, bonus action, Hexblade's Curse, and then shank him in the back.
You love a good shank.
I do.
Go for it with advantage.
Oop. That's plus 7 because proficiency is added. 18. I can do maps, me.
18 will hit, yeah, absolutely. Roll damage.
What is my rainbow? Actually, see that? It's like. Okay. 1 plus 5 is 6 plus 2 because of Hexblade Curse is 8 piercing.
8 piercing. Very nice. Now a bloodied dire cultist.
And as I twist and I pull it out, it's just like sick. That's it.
Doesn't feel so good to be on the receiving end of that, not gonna lie.
Alright. Is that a concentration saving throw?
Oh yes, it will be for spiritual weapon. It passes with a 16.
Nice.
Anything else?
Nope, that's me. That's bonus action,
Alright.
action, movement.
Tattle, you're up.
Okay, so question, how much space do I have if I wanted to use wild shape?
If you want to use wild shape, you do not have much space at all. I would go for a medium creature if you want to. If you go giant, you will probably squish more party members on your side than enemies right now.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have a go-to medium creature, so...
Wolf? They're medium, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, not really Tattle style.
That's fair. It's more Aegis' thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, they're like... In this setting, they're apparently all lone wolves, so... And she's very much about good pack behavior.
Giant badger? That's medium.
Not
That
edgy
genuinely
enough.
exists as a thing.
I know.
Not edgy enough. They are the most goth animal in existence. They are pure black with a white streak.
What a skunks do you, droid liver?
Well, is it like the American badgers who look like they're about to mug you in an alley? Or
it is
like...
not the American badger. Otherwise, the CR would be about 4 times what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they are the gentlemen of British wildlife.
It's true. It's true. All right, what's the most evil British wildlife I can think of?
Girls, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, there really isn't much. It's goats. No, not goats. Swans. Swans are the worst, isn't it? But they've got flying speed, so you can't go for that yet. Or geese. No, swan is probably worse than a goose. A swan will break your arm as soon as look at you.
Sure
Yeah, but geese are evil.
So are swans.
Okay. Do I want to break out the big guns here?
You can
As
turn
a
into a
person
gun.
trying to get you to use all of your resources before you hit the Dwarven mines, I say yeah. Bring out the big guns.
Well, tough. I'm going to throw a magic stone at the cultist. The
Well,
dark
it was
cultist.
worth a go.
Okay. It's lovely to be able to use my spell attack. So I believe this is... Yep. +7. There's a 22 hit.
Oh, yes. Roll damage. If you roll higher than a 3, they are dead.
Interesting.
Your modifier is probably a 3 already, isn't it?
It's a 5, but I'm going to roll damage anyway for fun.
I mean, yeah, anyway. You got to know how much you kill them.
Obviously.
Yeah.
7 points of bludgeoning damage, and they're just completely covered in dirt. The same dirt that's on all over the floor, presumably.
Yeah, and that they will soon be in as they die. Yeah. That is another dead cultist.
Wait, is that the dire cultist or one of the normal ones?
The normal one, I think. They wouldn't have killed the dire one.
I said I was aiming for the dark cultist.
Sorry, let me just reapply that then. They are... Let me bring a cultist back. From the dead.
They are still covered. Yep, they're still covered in dirt, though.
No, that's an avatar of death. That's not a cultist. We don't want... Don't want one of them. Don't want one of them. That would have been scary. Okay, so Cult Fanatic. Yeah, you're taking 7 points. Nice.
And yeah, I don't think I have anything for bonus actions unless anyone wants a magic stone.
Seems like they don't. Over to Stonk.
What's the current status regarding how many cultists?
There are 2 cultists and 1 dire cultist. The dire cultist is on the far end, away from you, where you blew everyone away with the thunder wave. Currently looking at Tattle, at a 1 and menacingly, and Imp is stabbing them in the back. And there are 2 cultists in front of Aegis, who are trying very hard to shank a dwarf.
That's how you get a
Are both looking equally ragged or
yeah, both are equal. It looks like it would take the same amount of damage to take both cultists out. The dire cultist is doing slightly better, but not much better.
Stonk is going to throw a vicious mockery at one of the normal cultists.
Oh, lovely. Love a bit of vicious mockery. Okay, that's a wisdom save, isn't it? Let me do that. They have Dark Devotion. This is not a charm thing, so that's okay. That's a failure. Roll damage.
Woohoo! That's a 1d4. And that is a 2.
A 2, lovely.
And they get disadvantage on their next attack roll.
Okay. They
It's
wince
not plus
at
anything.
this. No, it's not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Vicious
That's not-
Mockery's getting buffed in the next edition because it's a bit rough. Because it's really nice. It's a great spell, and it's really cool to kill someone with it. But it is a little low on the damage, and it should be a little bit higher. It gets all right once you hit 5th level because it comes 2d4, which is a lot better. But it does impose disadvantage, and that is also really good. So I think that's why it's a little lower. Okay, excellent. Anything else, Stonk?
Yeah, this song is just going to get Bardic Inspiration to who hasn't gotten it yet.
I just used mine.
Aegis.
Okay, Aegis, you're bardicked up, and it is now your go. There are 2 cultists right in front of you. One is looking a little unsteady, like a little put off by the insults that have been coming from Stonk. Like, it's a little distracting just to hear Stonk in the corner go, "Hey, you suck." But probably like more eloquently.
You're such a pathetic cultist. You don't deserve to hear my beautiful music.
Ouch. It is beautiful music. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is bonus action Second Wind.
Nice. Aegis farts.
Get me a D10. D10. Well, see how strong this fart is first. Oh, Jesus, it's a 1 on the dice. So it's 5
bad
health
luck.
back.
Well, that's not terrible. That's not terrible.
Yeah. Oh, God, what was I? Maths. Yes. Okay. And next, I am going to call over to Imp and say, Imp, have another stab. And this is a, what's it called? Commander's Strike.
So Aegis says something heroic, but what you hear in your mind is, do it.
So you get, what is it, 1d8 to...
I love Commander Strike. I think it's great.
Right. I forgo my attack action. Oh no, to use a bonus action. Oh, I just used my bonus action. Oh, so I can't do that. Oh, that's annoying.
No,
I have to use an attack action and a bonus action to do that.
You used one of your attacks and a bonus action. So when you've got multi-attack or extra attack, you can attack once and then tell someone else to strike.
Okay. Let's retcon all of the things I just said.
Okay.
Still didn't the second win, but yeah, okay. Aegis will take the dagger. That's it was a dagger that I was given, right? Or
yes.
We're using it like a dagger? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a steak knife, but it's basically a dagger, yeah.
Cool. So he's going to use that on the cultist that wasn't taking insults from Stonk just then. And we'll go in for an attack. That is a 23 to hit.
23 will definitely hit, yeah.
And now I need a D4. No, my D4s.
So are you going against the one that Stonk insulted, or the other one?
The other one.
The other one, got you.
Okay, and that is a 4 piercing damage.
That is a dead cultist. Nice.
I will then action surge.
Yes.
Use
those resources.
And I will.
I mean, you get them once per short rest, so you may as well. So.
What will I do? Okay, yeah, I'll go over to the cultist, the dire cultist.
Okay.
And we'll stab them with a what's it called? Menacing attack.
Is cultist going to give you an attack of opportunity? No, because we've already established you're close enough that wouldn't happen. So yeah, menacing attack, go for it.
Okay, so menacing attack is 1d8 plus my. Oh wait, I'll see if I hit first.
Wait, how are you doing? Oh yeah, action surge. My brain
surge,
just
so-
dropped that for a second. Yeah, go for it.
That is a 16 to hit.
16 hits, roll damage.
Okay, so this is 1d8. Why do I keep on
This
putting
could be
these dice
very
away?
good. This could be very good indeed. I'm excited. Let's have some big numbers.
I had a d8 out. Why did I put it back?
I don't know.
Right, here we go. Okay, so first the d8. Oh, it's an 8 on d8, and then
Ooh, I mean, you could stop rolling there if you want.
2. So yeah, that's lots.
Yeah, that's a dead cult fanatic. Spiritual weapon drops and vanishes into the ether. Vanishes actually back to hell. So there's a little bit of hellfire that licks up and it burns away in front of you, Stonk. But yeah, the cult fanatic is dead. There's only one cultist left.
I hit him all the way to hell.
You did. You hurled him through hell, which is something normally only a warlock gets. Yeah, very good. Okay, it is. If you've got nothing else, it's the cultist go, which I imagine not, as you've action surged.
Mm-hmm.
The cultist is going to see you sort of turn your back on it, and this one, I can say she is going to turn around and just stab you. It's stabbing times. And that is only a 14 to hit, though. Does that hit?
Oh, my bait and switch is no longer in effect. So yes, that does hit.
Ooh.
Although no, I've got another bardic inspo, don't I? So
You do have a bardic inspiration.
probably does not.
I mean,
Let's see.
you don't have to roll it.
Yeah,
like
no,
if
it
it's
doesn't.
14, and bare minimum of 1 will.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't hit. So
I rolled a 5
Stonk's
on the bardic
guidance
inspo
hits
this
you.
time anyway.
Oh, that's great. Your AC is 19 at the moment. Stonk's sort of energy is infusing you. It's making your reactions faster, and you hear the movement. You twist around and you dive to the side as the dagger goes for you. That's the cultist done. A 1, and we go to you. There's one cultist left.
One is gonna go up to them and say, "Tell me where the dog is. I'll let you live."
What dog?
My dog.
Outside. Outside. He's tied to a stake. We with the others. With the other dogs.
One starts to walk to the door.
Okay. Yeah, you start to walk to the door. The door is locked.
Where's the key?
Faith had it.
Go get the key.
Okay, you go get the key. As you walk back to the door, the cultist draws a knife, whispers in Infernal, and goes to stab you. Natural 20.
Oof.
That is unfortunate.
It is.
Yeah. So that's going to be a couple of these buggers and a couple of these buggers.
Do ask consent first.
Question, Nick.
Yeah.
Can Tattle understand what the cultists are whispering when they do their knife thing?
Yeah, it's sort of hellish things. It's kind of it's a prayer to the Dracolich. They're probably inciting the Dracolich's name, which is something very dragon sounding.
Yeah, just put that in my notes. Cult to the ancient Dracolich. Something very dragon sounding.
It is
Smog.
no. It is Chanulf. The ember without. No, that's it. The ember without. And okay, so that damage is 6 points of piercing damage or slashing damage. No, piercing. Sorry, 6 points of piercing and 7 points of fire damage.
13. Oof.
That's a good crit. She snarls at you. You've still got your action if you want to return. Or you can just leave. It's your call.
No, that's gonna get a turn and a claw.
Okay.
16.
16 hits.
8
Just
damage.
turn around and go. 8 damage is almost enough to kill one who's not taking any damage.
Nick, I just remembered she had disadvantage, didn't she?
She did. Stonk issued an insult, so let me roll again. If I get another 20 though, I will be ecstatic. I tell you, I will be taking that one to the bank. Right, let's go. Come on, natural 20. No. It is a 16.
Oh, that doesn't hit.
That doesn't hit, so put that damage back. Put that damage back where it came from. Also help me.
In which case, Owanin just kind of walks out the door.
Yeah, okay. So Stonk is still in that cultist's head, rent-free. Those insults hurt, you know. So you walk out the door, you're out there in the sunlight again. It is blinding to you. Mostly the side effects of the poison, you think. And you can see 3 dogs. They have been just tied to stakes outside, mostly lying down in the sun, with the exception of Vintage, who is, as best you can tell, just asleep still. You know, probably as a smaller animal. I know mastiffs are huge, but as a smaller animal still, had a higher dose of the poison than you lot did, so is out cold still. Imp, how would you like to do a murder?
It's just the one left, yeah?
Oh yes.
Very nearly dead.
Oh yes. Seems her dark devotion is driving her to continue the job no matter what.
he got offered mercy and then immediately did a murder. So I'm not going to trust anything this thing says. I'm just going to shrug. Like, a 1-inch ride. Shank.
Shanking time. Yeah.
Get her, Imp. Get her good.
That was a natural 20.
Yes.
That's fun. All the way to scope like 3 times. It went
Let's
on.
hear a disgusting amount of damage that will absolutely 100% certainly kill her because she's got 2 hit points remaining.
Yeah, I'm rolling a d4 for damage.
Even then, you've got modifiers, right? Like, it's physically impossible to do less than 2 points.
I couldn't do less than 5 normally.
Yeah.
6 normally. Hold up, because
Like, you're doubling your dice. It's physically impossible not to kill her.
so I rolled a 3. That's 6, 11. Is this a dire one?
No, this is a normal cultist.
Okay, then it's just the 11.
Just the 11. Okay. That's a dead cultist. Collapse to the ground. The rest of you are free to emerge, blinking into the sunlight, should you so wish.
Yeah, as I
Can we,
walk out.
Can we search the cultists' bodies for loot first?
Oh, you
yes.
better believe you can. Proud of you. Okay, so the cults have amassed a couple of draconic items. You find 2 red dragon scales here. Those familiar with the green dragon scale quest will find that they will have a similar use to the green ones that Ben has done. I'm basically stealing those rules and making a red dragon variant. I'll let you know what those are once I've written it, though. But yeah, a crafting ingredient, essentially. You find a silver sickle, so that's what Faith had. You also get there's a number of sickles here. There's clubs and knives. Obviously, these things aren't really worth much to resell, but you know, if you want to take them, you can. You also find a total of 30 gold pieces, 36 silver pieces, and 21 copper pieces. And there's also, as I said, there were some assorted documents around.
Okay.
Whoever's searching for items, someone else can search for documents.
Question: is there anything sort of magical about this sickle, or is it just like a normal sickle?
It's very pretty, but that's it.
If I'm looking for things, I will have thrown.
How much does it worth? Oh, silvered. Okay.
Silvered, yeah. Sorry, Imp, what was that?
I would have detect magic up while people are doing a search.
Yeah, there's no magic. Apart from the dragon scales, they've sort of got a natural magic to them.
Since I've got that ping up my head, I'll search for items.
Okay. Yep. So you're searching. Did you say you're searching for items?
Other interested things, because I'm not getting much of a ping on them.
Oh, right, got you. Yeah, there's some documents. Some of them's like just instructions on how to do a ritual, but there's a few other things as well, some notes.
I'll take the lot.
Okay, give me a perception check, please.
Okay. 13.
As you're rifling through, you find one of these pages has 2 crude drawings on them of people you recognize. The first one is Amity. The second one is Russell. There are dagger puncture marks in both of them. They're crude drawings. They're not perfect. You get the feeling they're just going by description, not not actually having seen them. The dagger puncture marks, there are notes next to it with kill them.
Interesting.
The rest of the documents appear to be in some sort of cipher. They will need to be researched to understand what is on them.
I'll definitely be taking those with me.
Okay, so that's all of the things that you've done your searching for. Before you all emerge, though, this has taken about 10 minutes. We're going to go to a 1-in who is outside with the dogs.
Yeah. I'm going to use speak with animals. My one where I don't use spell slots.
Yeah.
And talk to the dogs.
You came back.
We did.
Weird. You don't normally come back.
I don't think your masters are coming back.
Oh. Oh, we like them. They gave us meat.
There's a town that way, and points towards it now. A fair way, but not too far. They'll have food and shelter.
I think I'll just stay here.
You sure? There's no one around.
I don't like being without people, but people have been here. There's food. And the other one
Fair
pokes
enough.
him and says, we're not good. We're not hunting dogs. We're guard dogs. We need people to guard.
Well, there's a town that way that you can
But
go
they're not
out
here.
and
We can't find. We're not hunt dogs. We're guard dogs.
Well, you can come with us. You know, guard a moving home.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
Were the cultists in the base and we killed everyone? It's also remarkable. Okay.
There were children and they were illusions.
Yeah, I was wondering that.
Yeah, this was a cult outpost made to look like a flourishing village to entrap people, basically. In fact, now you're emerging, you're seeing this is a lot smaller than it looked. And it's a lot more ramshackle. The magic fades away.
Was the food not real?
The food was real.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I do still have a leg of a boar in my bag.
You do still have a boar leg, yeah.
I mean, the entire boar's probably still there if you want to grab that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a 2. That's not gonna work.
That's a 2. No. We'll stay here. We still have food to guard. I'd say about now, the rest of the party probably comes out and can see a one and is there with the 3 dogs. Vintage is still completely asleep.
Yeah. Well, I'll let the other 2 dogs off their stakes.
Okay.
So then they can go guard their stakes.
As Tattle emerges from the room, one of the dogs runs over to you. Goes, do you have any more food?
And Tattle infer that that's what the dog wants.
Yeah, it's looking up at you and panting. That's what they do. I mean, a one and you'll be hearing this as well. You can translate if you want.
I can translate.
Can I say I still have like a drumstick or something in my pockets from the previous night, or?
That was from about 2 hours ago. So yeah, you can definitely have still. If you're, I mean, it depends. Are you in the habit of secreting drumsticks in your pockets?
Yeah, I mean, I literally described her as the kind of person who's awkward at parties.
There's a whole basement of meat over there. Not the one we just came out of, the other one.
Oh no. Yeah. So okay, yeah, you bring out a drumstick and you give the dog and goes, "Thank you. You're the best. You're the best. I love food."
That's what gives a thumbs up.
Great.
It's a special druid thumbs up that animals can understand.
It's settled then, and the dog sits on your foot. It sits on
I think
your
we
foot.
should get out of here.
And it looks up at you and it's like, okay.
I would have ignored everything that was going on and just walked around any buildings I can see with the detect magic up, looking for everybody's stuff.
No more magic.
No magic items that we were carrying?
Oh yeah, your magic items. Good point. Yeah, you find them. You find them. Sorry, I forgot I hadn't given them back to you yet. Yeah, you find them. Don't worry. They are in the basement that had all the meat in it.
Ah, right.
Can I quickly cast? Well, not quickly. Can I cast Speak with Animals as a ritual?
Yeah, you can
And,
sort of sit around there. Yeah.
Yeah, and say to the dog. Sorry, you. It seemed like you said something a bit more complicated than I could understand without magic aid.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna come with you now.
Excellent. Oh, what's your name?
My name. They called me. Well, it's rude.
It's rude.
I'm bastard. On account of the fact that they don't know who my parents were.
We can come up with a new name if you prefer it.
I'd like that. If you'd like that.
Tattle looks at the side she's taken off the corpse of Thea. and says, "How does mistletoe sound?" Wait, no. Wait. Question: is this a male dog or a female dog?
Your choice.
Yep.
I haven't decided, so if you've got a preference, you can pick.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna say Tattle looks at the silver scythe, holds up at the sky, looks up, as if imagining the moon there, and says, "How does Luna sound to you?"
Oh, Luna's good. I like the moon. I howl at it sometimes.
Yeah. My name's Tattle, by the way.
Hi, Tattle.
Nice to meet you. And then she gives the doggo pets.
Okay, and the doggo is very happy about that. The other doggo is looking at this a little confused, and it's like, I thought we were going to stay. And one and you hear that. I thought we were going to stay. A little quietly, too quietly for Tattle to hear, I think. But one and you're still sort of relatively near. And then looks at a one in and goes, "But you've already got a dog. What'll happen to old Bob?"
2 dogs is better than 1 dog.
I guess that's true.
You can still come along if you want to.
I would miss Bastard a lot.
Leave your dead friends behind.
Enfys, please.
So what I'm going to say is, a one and you absolutely cannot have 2 sidekicks. This will get ridiculous.
Oh, no.
But if someone else wants a dog, they can have them.
Stonk wouldn't mind a companion.
Stonk wouldn't mind a companion. Stonk, you can have a dog.
Yeah, you just can't speak with the dogs.
You don't need to be able to speak with them to, like, you know, most people in real life can't speak with dogs and they still get things done. Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Yeah, and Victoria from its nail, the dog can.
I understand them deeply.
Pop some meat from the basement.
Yeah, which one? Which basement? I mean, just to be clear. No, I know. You mean animal meat, not people meat. Oh no. Anyway, we're gonna stop there for a sec. We're gonna go to a break screen because I think we're basically done with this scene. But if there's anything else anyone wants to do before we go, let me know.
Get some rations from the basement.
Oh, you can totally get some rations. You can totally fill up on some. It would be raw meat in the basement. Because most of the preserved stuff is already out on the tables. I suppose you can just take some of those. You can take some of them. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, they're there. They've only been in the sun for a little bit. They're going to be fine. So yeah, you can each gain, I'm going to say 1 to 2 rations each. I'm going to say 1 ration each because it's like a full day's worth of food you're carrying up and preserving and all that. And Aegis, you can have some raw meat.
I mean, he definitely goes down to the basement and disappears for an unsettling amount of time.
Does he come back with blood on his face, or is it just more his packs are full?
Oh, what this? This was from the battle previously. Oh.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good.
Fresh around the beard.
Obviously, that will count Aegis for the rules I've given you, so you don't have to worry about the rest of the day.
Oh yeah, Nick, I have a question for you, by the way.
And I have an answer.
Okay, what breed of dog is Luna?
I don't have an answer. As a guard dog, we've got to really go with something like a German Shepherd or a Dachshund or something like that. Do you have a particular preference?
Poodle.
Probably not a poodle. They were not guard dogs.
Yeah.
Poodles are vicious.
Dogs. Yeah, poodles are hunting dogs.
Yeah, and these are specifically not hunting dogs.
Yeah, the whole thing of actually putting ribbons and stuff on them actually started as a way to spot them when they were covered in mud.
They would have in the stat block of a Mastiff, so you can have a Mastiff if you want, or you can have a German Shepherd or a Leonberger or something like that. If you've not seen or looked up a Leonberger, look them up. You'll be in for a treat. Great Dane is a possibility. Leon, as in Leon Kennedy, and then Berger, Berger.
Okay, yeah, this is the dog version of Leon S. Kennedy.
Gosh.
Yeah. Take a look at a
Mine
photo
dog.
of one of those with a person next to them.
Oh my god.
Yes. They are all that size and they're all lovely babies.
Oh, the little ones are so fluffy. Oh.
Yes. They were bred to be sheepdogs, livestock guardians. So they are guard dogs. They can take on a bear.
Wow.
That's how big they are. They were bred in Germany in the Black Forest region. So there were bears that had to be, you had to guard livestock from bears. I'm talking about Leon burgers, Becca.
I got it.
Yeah, she knew. I love them so much. I bring them up a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Luna's probably a German Shepherd, just because I kind of like the irony of Tattle having a police dog.
I mean, not all German Shepherds are police dogs. Anyway, there are lots of lovely, cuddly German Shepherds.
Yeah, it's true. I shouldn't besmirch their name.
They're beautiful babies and very friendly and cuddly. But yeah, I think Luna being a German Shepherd makes a lot of sense.
She deserves a pointy dog.
Stonk, what was that, sir?
Sorry, I was just saying that Bob's a Leon burger.
Bob's a Leon burger. Love it. Absolutely. I will say, even though Leon burgers are very big, they will still be massive size. They'll still be a medium creature, so you cannot use them as a mount unless you're a small creature. So,
like a dwarf.
Gnomes, not dwarves. Dwarves are medium. It's weird, but dwarves are medium.
I'm sure you previously said I could ride the Mastiff.
I mean, you can try.
I'm not going to. Aegis doesn't like animals.
So.
A kobold, maybe?
Becca says that a dwarf can ride a Leon burger. So, who am I to disagree with the rules of D&D?
Anyway, next time.
I mean, Summer, if you want to cast Reduce and ride Bob, that's perfectly valid. That is a valid use of enlarge Reduce. Or enlarge on Bob. And then ride Bob. That's actually an extremely valid use of that.
Oh, yeah.
You do have to train mounts to accept a rider, usually. But you can sort of get away with it. Like, you try and ride the animal, is not used to it. You're going to probably find them bucking. You'll have to make some animal handling checks to keep on them. But if you train them, there is an animal training downtime. You can train them to be a mount, and then they will be fine. And you can put a saddle on them, and everything like that. And you can ride them as a mount constantly. And into combat, because riding a mount into combat is a lot harder than just riding one across the road or something. Because they will be more likely to buck and shy and all that. But yeah, you could totally do that with enlarge reduce. Obviously, there's a duration limit, so you're not like going to be riding for the full day, but it's long enough to last a couple of combats, so that's a possibility. But yeah, anyone who's a small character can ride mastiffs. That's literally what the mastiff stat block is for halflings, gnomes to have a mount, because horses are too large for them. So where are we going?
We discussed that, and our decision was into the hills.
Into the hills
to
the north. Yeah, so hills. Let me get that up. Hills are 4 tokens indeed. So yep, do feel free to subtract that. And let me get what happens on this one. Yes. So you head up into the hills. You're walking along, making reasonable good time. Your spirits are a bit raised after the cultist ordeal. You're behind that now. It's a lovely day, sun's shining, the birds are singing. And on the road is sat there on a rock, holding a glass of red wine in a suit, with next to him a bird cage in which there is a single yellow canary. There is an old man with salt and pepper hair, neatly trimmed, and this suit is immaculate. Like, he doesn't look like he's been walking for ages. He looks like he's just put on a freshly pressed suit and stepped into a party. But he's right there, and he's reading a small book, a handheld sort of diary style book, and he snaps it shut when you approach. He says, just who I've been waiting for. Stonk, Tattle, Aegis, and wherein, Imp. It's nice to meet you.
Would Tattle have heard anything about this guy if he's been in the area before?
Only as much as wherein has told you.
Would you have heard any legends about mysterious men in very sharp suits?
No, this one's new. This one's unusual. I would say a cleric could roll a check, but that's about it. Maybe paladin. This is not a sort of druidic thing to contend with.
That is very ominous, actually.
It is, isn't it?
I do have proficiency in religion, if that's at all.
Would that really help in this particular case? I don't think so. I don't think so.
Can't be that bad if a warlock can't recognize them.
There would be a certain set of circumstances where you would, but I think in this case, not in this case. Yeah, not in this case.
Okay. I'm going to tell him, in the interest of doing due diligence, because we've been meeting some very interesting folks, not the least of all the Queen. I'm gonna cast a little spell here. Maybe two.
Okay, what are you planning on casting?
Detect magic. No. Detect magic? Yeah, I'm gonna cast detect magic because I can do that one.
You're cutting out a little bit. What was that bit?
Detect magic because I can do that one.
He cuts the last word every single time. What was the final word?
Free.
Ah, for free. Okay, and are there components when you cast it that way?
Yes, but I'm also warning him that I'm casting it.
Oh, okay, you're telling him. Okay.
Yeah.
He goes, do what you must. And as you start casting it, he goes and counterspells it.
I cast it again.
Counterspell.
Again.
Counterspell.
Again.
Counterspell.
Let's just say I do this another 20 times.
Just let the man
counterspell,
speak.
counterspell, counterspells all of them. Continues reading his book.
That's it. No, go on.
Tattle sarcastically says, 1, 2, 3.
Just counting them up, yeah. So you're at 20 now. You don't know of any mages who have that many spell slots.
No, that's a deep well of magic you've got going there, good sir.
Would that give us any clues as to who this might be? Not
enough, I'm afraid. You could always ask him his name. Have you considered that?
I'm not going to ask him his name. I am going to ask him, what are you?
Me? I'm a gentleman.
Oh, clearly.
Who are you?
Who am I? You can call me the gentleman.
What do you want us for?
Perhaps we can help each other.
I do like a good deal.
Well, if you like a good deal, you've met the right person. And he puts down his book, and it vanishes before it touches the rock. And he draws a blade. And he puts his thumb against the blade and draws a little bead of blood. Yes. Whosoever wants to hold back coming of death, place your thumb against mine. That's all it takes.
I'll take you on that. This has me very interested.
You will enter my service.
Interesting.
In exchange for fealty, I offer the ability to defeat death itself.
How often?
As often as I like.
What exactly is your service?
Just what I said. A trade. You've heard of an old man with canaries before, have you not?
Have we?
Have we?
A 1 in.
Oh, yeah.
Make me a religion check, because you're the only one who speaks Draconic.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Question while that's being rolled. Is that canary in the cage alive?
Yeah,
And it looks like a real canary.
it seems to.
Because I've just had a thought.
Did he say canaries plural?
He did
No,
say canaries plural,
He
but there is only one in the cage at the moment.
Interesting.
17.
17. You have heard of a story of a man. Well, the story is called The Old Man with the Canaries, and it is typically used to reference. Now, did I change the name for this? We're going to go with the original D&D name, but I may have changed the name because it's kind of linked up with the Queen of Nordmark. Is Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon, the god of dragons, or god of metallic dragons. There is a god of chromatic dragons, or mother of them anyway, and this is the father.
Does the one in share this knowledge?
That's my question.
Well, in my experience as a druid, anyone can find a canary and put them in a cage. You don't need to be legendary for that. Or a specific
Quite
legend.
right, Tattle, quite right.
Does
How
one
do
in
you know my
share?
name then?
I know everyone's name. I've already listed all of them.
Yes, you've said our names. How do you know them?
I keep an eye on interesting people.
Oh, and it does relate the information.
It's a simple trade. You enter my service forever, you never die.
Deals with gods is something that I occasionally do. So why not dabble in one more? And I'll take the.
Imp. Are you sure this is a god? I say. Tattle just gestures to her horns and imp's horns.
Imp just smile. There's just way too many teeth in it. Like you know, Imp's up to something. And I'll prick my own thumb and put it to the offered one.
Okay. The gentleman smiles and says, "It is done. When I have need of you, you'll know it."
So I keep being told. And in return, I get to defy death.
Oh yes, you'll never die.
Orion can go do one.
I like that spirit.
Aegis will step forward. I'm not so much interested in immortality, but perhaps if you're powerful enough to hold off death, as you say, maybe he could do something about this, and gestures to the hair on his arms.
Oh yes, your little problem, Aegis of Airedale. Oh, I can fix that. Right away. All it takes is one touch. Squeezes his thumb and another droplet of blood comes out.
In
Do you accept?
lieu of any other better option presenting themselves and fear of the oncoming moon, I shall accept this.
Very good. And the moment you touch thumbs, you feel the lycanthropy erased from you. Very good indeed. I've thrown in you not being able to die as a little bonus. I like you.
To be honest, I'd rather be able to live out my life with my wife and family.
Deal's done, I'm afraid.
Fuck.
Can Tassel take a close look at the canary? Like,
Yeah,
Is there
yeah,
anything
go for
unusual
it.
about
Yeah, go for it. You can take a close look at the canary. Roll me a nature or perception check, your choice.
okay, let me just double check.
Or an
I think they're
arcana
both-
one if you fancy it, but I think nature's probably better as a druid.
Yeah, let me just double check. Yeah, I'll roll perception because that's higher. 22.
Okay. That canary has a little spiny, scaly tail coming out of it. that ends in a barbed hook like a scorpion's.
Oh. Guess there's more than one imp around here. Hmm? And
The gentleman smiles at you.
And she says this in Infernal to the canary specifically.
The gentleman responds in Infernal. Don't worry about him. I keep him well fed.
Tattle glances at Imp and Aegis.
You're a
I bet you
smart
do.
one, Tattle, and he snaps his fingers and everyone else disappears.
What?
It's just you and him. They're gone. You're still out in the open, still on the rock, and he's like, okay, let's talk. You've seen through the game, I see. You ask me your name, or my name, and I'll give it you. You've earned that. I approve of someone who can see through little tricks. Perhaps you've heard of me. My name is Ashmedai. Some call me Asmodeus. I'm the Lord of Hell. Honestly, two out of 5 is pretty good, I consider.
Yeah, Tattle is actually genuinely taken aback here. Because obviously she was expecting some sort of demon or supernatural entity, but she wasn't expecting, like, literally the... You know... Got literal... Is this sort of like the settings equivalent of the devil, or...?
This is, yeah, the devil. This is the closest you will ever get to the devil.
Yeah. So why the interest in us, then?
I take note of all interesting people, and it seems you've already drawn the eye of one particularly powerful agent in Nordmark. Why not a second? You've met her, haven't you?
The lady with the rape. Well, not personally, but I've heard of her. The lady with the ravens and cards.
Yes, you've seen her in your dreams, haven't you?
I see a lot of things in my dreams.
Those dreams don't mean much. Yes, the lady with the cards. We were married once.
You do strike me as the divorced sort.
Ah, well. Everything must end. And he chuckles and says, of course, except your friend's servitude.
We'll see about that. You say you know Imp? Of Imp?
Oh, yes. But the one I'm most interested in, that Aegis. Make a good little servant.
I think you'll find his loyalties a bit concrete.
Oh, he will have very little choice. Anyway, I suppose the next thing you're going to do is tell Stonk and a one-in not to touch my finger, aren't you?
Well, a one-in is a wise one. Stonk isn't too bright, but I don't think that's his style, really. I don't think I need to tell them anything.
We'll see.
But still.
Snaps his fingers, you vanish. Everyone else comes back. There's no... So, for everyone else, no time has passed. It's like nothing has happened, right? Perfectly normal. The gentleman still sat there, perfectly happy. Tattle has vanished.
Tattle has been prevented from tattling.
Exactly. Anyone else? Stonk, you're a great musician.
Imp, I feel like something has gone terribly wrong here.
Hold up.
Would you like to be the best musician who has ever lived?
Stonk, don't answer. Where's Tattle?
Tattle's having a lie down. Tattle will be back. Tattle's safe. Tattle is sound.
If she's not, I will kill you. Deal or
She
not?
is absolutely fine. She will be returned to you in one piece, unharmed.
Very well. Continue.
Stonk, you want to be the best magician? Why do I keep saying magician? You want to be the best musician that has ever lived? I can give you that power.
I already am, baby.
Oh, you're good, but you're not the best. And he pulls out out a fiddle. I've been known.
Is it gold?
It is gold. If you think you're the best, how about you show it to me?
Well, usually I am up for making a big deal of myself and trying to show others up. But yeah, I've got a feeling something ain't right here, and I'm not really interested, so I'm just gonna pass.
Very well.
Bless you.
Fame is fleeting. We'll see what happens next, shall we?
Nothing lasts forever, baby.
Well, I gave you the power to start with. We'll see how things go. A one-in. What do you want most? Is it control over death? Or is it something simpler? I can give it to you. That thing that you desire most, deep in your heart. Fish.
Fun is in the catching.
Well, I wouldn't make it easy for you. I can take you to places you have never seen before. Have you ever been to the elemental plane of water? There are fish there you will never have caught.
I'm more interested in catching the most legendary fish of this realm.
Oh, that'll be a start for sure, but what will you do after that?
Eat the kraken.
And then?
Kraken's pretty big.
Oh, you'll run out eventually. And then you'll weep, for there will be no more fish to catch.
There's always more fish to catch.
He smiles and raises his glass to you and says, okay. I understand. I made a good go of it, giving you an offer. But some people can't be corrupted.
Corrupted?
But you're not the only one of your clutch. And there certainly is one out there who can be. Imagine what they could do with untold power. Oh, I'm sure it will be very great indeed. The kind of great that gets put into the history books. Appended to people's names. The kind of great that leaves untold suffering in its wake.
Hey, what did you say Atuin was up to?
Perhaps I'll pay them a visit. And now snaps his finger and Tattle reappears. See, I told you, she's fine.
Good.
Says this guy told you who he is yet.
No, but I figure he's... what he's doing... the magic he's performing is not with any kind of components the way that we would. He is either some kind of semi-deific figure or straight up a god.
Very clearly the god of dragons.
I don't think he's the god of dragons. The one in was talking about sounds a bit more evil than that.
I'll say. I believe we've got a few kinfolk imp who are, same guy. And she gestures to her horns again.
Oh, wait, the progenitor of our lineage himself? Oh my, we have been blessed.
Wait, question, Nick.
I prefer not to use the word blessed.
Do bloodlines still work the same way in this setting as they do in sort of like core D&D or?
No.
Okay.
The way I always run this is some people are just touched by tiefling essence. The same happens with Genasi as well, and also with Azamar. There's not really blood involved. It's more, for example, Genasi are often born when there is a powerful storm at the time of their birth, or if there is an inferno or volcano going off, a lot of elemental energy. With tieflings, there is influence from the hells or the abyss.
Yeah.
Maybe there's been an attack or a raid or something like that, but there is that sort of latent energy nearby that has affected someone.
Okay. So it's not necessarily like a contract or something, and they're
not
family
necessarily.
made.
I mean, a contract could happen, and that could cause someone to be a tiefling, but their children aren't necessarily guaranteed to be tieflings either.
Yeah, I was using the word lineage very loosely, to be fair.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, this is something I haven't actually explained to anyone, so I don't expect them to know this.
Yeah. Just more on the fact that, this is the origin of why I have horns and normal colored.
That's totally fair. Yeah, and the general would say charmed.
Yeah.
No, he'd say enchanté. He'd say it in Hill Giant.
All I have to say to you now is thanks for the tale. Now can't you go frick yourself? Tattle does not use the word frick.
It's not very polite of you, Tattle. Just because you saw through my little game. I was perfectly on the level about my deal. They won't die.
I was always destined
That's
to
what I'm
end up
afraid of.
down your neighborhood anyway.
Oh yes, you were always coming to me. Or perhaps one of the other princes.
Well, my ambitions lay here for now. Should I join you on a permanent basis, then I guess my ambitions will have to change, but for now...
There's no should, you already have.
Yes, well. I'll just leave it at that.
Lovely speaking to you all. Sure I can't tempt you, Stonk? Tempting is what I'm so very good at.
Yeah, no thanks. Maybe next.
Well, I'll see you some other time, I'm sure. Snaps his fingers and vanishes. So, how we feeling? We just met Satan.
Wow.
Oh, Imp is delighted.
At least he didn't try to use my first name. I hate it when people do that.
I think he'd go by the names you call yourselves. I think it's that true name sort of magic. That your true name is what you call yourself. It's what you see yourself as, and that's where the magic is attached to. And he would absolutely use that.
I am Batman.
Tattle, what have I got myself into here? What am I going to have to do?
Oh, you good sir are all the way fucked.
You've sold your soul, I'm afraid. No, the old classic. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to clarify. Tattle doesn't have any problem using her being called Airy in general. It's just that she hates it when someone who isn't her friend does it.
Fair enough. In that case, the gentleman would have called you Airy.
Oh God.
And she just said, "We're not on a first name basis."
Well, no, you don't know my first name. Until he'd introduced himself. But he would have started with Airy, and I presume that would have been then when the response would have happened.
Yeah.
Sort of retconning conversation is confusing. But so...
You know what they say, Nick? The devil's in the detail.
Oh, yes. What a wonderful time. I managed to get two of you. I'm very proud.
You were always
If it was
guaranteed to
talking
get one
about
of
a join,
us.
there's a 50-50 chance that they'd take it.
Oh, yeah.
On account of the whole Conquest Paladin thing was because they're going after the cult.
Oh, yeah. I knew chances would be better, but this is not the last time you'll meet this character. This character's a face card. So anytime we draw the King of Pentacles,
Yeah, that checks out.
you'll meet your good friend.
I'm starting to have doubts about your information that you've been providing us lately.
Not my fault. That's what I just said.
That was accurate. That man was sinister.
A man had a sinister air, well-dressed gentleman. There were no
You
lies.
did tell us that this was the god of dragons.
Oh, that was the other information. That was very rude of me, but it's what he would do. And Tattle rightly discovered that was an imp, polymorphed into a canary. Partially polymorphed. Little clue. Of course, Ashmedai has to leave a clue. It's all part of the game.
Yeah. Have you noticed everyone we've run into so far has betrayed us in some way, and they've all had red wine?
white wine in this case, I believe.
Oh, he was drinking red.
Oh,
When you're in a dark suit and you're Satan, you've got to be drinking red wine.
Yeah. It's the aesthetic.
Yeah, it's the aesthetic. It might have been blood, you don't know.
I mean, that's why it's the aesthetic.
Yeah.
they've also all had a connection to hell, seems.
I'm going to blindside you with the next one, I tell you that.
Is it just
Okay,
like a giant bottle of red wine?
I say I'm going to blindside you with the next one. I mean, a one in specifically knows what it is. So,
It's dragon.
A wine dragon?
Yeah.
Drinking wine.
what was the other
Small wine
complication?
dragon.
Just double check.
Hellish wine dragon.
Wait,
Oh,
we've had,
yeah, I know what it
we've
is.
been given what? We've been offered wine. We've had a guy drinking wine. So what's left? What completes the trifactor?
Eating wine. Wine ice cubes.
Becoming
Gelatin
wine.
cube.
Become the wine.
UB40's top song, Red Red Wine.
Okay, well, I guess this is the next challenge to overcome. So maybe we just head on forwards and see where we get to. One
Yep.
foot in front of the other, as it may.
Well, we're not going to go much further today.
Oh yes, the
No.
sun is setting.
The sun is setting. And the night is dark and full of terrors. So you set a camp. Who's on first base for watch tonight?
I
don't
think
know.
Tattle. I think Tattle's gonna have a lot to think about there. Meeting
Okay.
the literal devil.
Tattle's on first. Who's up second?
I'll take second.
Second for Imp. Who's on third?
Oh, one can go there.
One in goes third. And who's having the last watch?
Aegis will take his traditional early morning.
Okay. Stonk, you get to sleep through the night. Like a baby.
I get that beauty
Stonk enjoys it quite a bit.
You roll a d4. Okay.
Needs his
So-
beauty sleep.
Tattle, you're up first. You're sat by the fire. Maybe you've got Luna with you. What are you thinking about?
She's basically just sort of, she's just sort of thinking over. Well, obviously, she's sort of thinking about, general tiefling things. Because obviously, like either one of her ancestors made some sort of deal, or it just got into her family bloodline somehow. Because she's not the only tiefling in her family.
Yeah.
Which is also obviously making her think a bit about her family. So she's wondering what they're doing right now. Because she didn't sort of leave home on bad terms, per se, but she hasn't really stayed in
Okay.
contact.
Your mind wanders in that direction. You think about that for a while. Sure. How does that make Tattle feel?
I'm going to say probably a little nostalgic.
Okay. Your watch completes. And you swap over with Imp. Imp, you're out there by the fire. What do you think of?
The various people that I'm either being manipulated by or making deals with. Like, there's always been sort of the back thought of people in my profession traditionally go to the hells. One day, if I'm not gonna end up probably becoming a demon of some kind, I'm gonna need to be tethered to the material plane. So now my mind's just going around in that sort of, well, I'm already sort of tethered to the forest. I've got this whole, and I look at my packed weapon, got this whole deal working for me in some way. Gonna have to figure out a way to make something a bit more permanent, a bit more concrete in tying me here.
Okay, so your mind sort of starts wandering over all the possibilities, all the connections you've made throughout the evening. And that passes most of the time, honestly. And again, nothing happens. And you swap over with a one-in. A one-in, you're out with Vintage by the fire.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking?
thinking about the other turtles. And worried that, you know, a 2-in or a 3-in might take that kind of a deal. But confident that a 4-in wouldn't, you know.
No,
She's
of course not.
She's just the reliable postal delivery.
Yeah.
Courier of Airedale. Yeah.
She's content. That's the thing that stopped you from really being tempted as well. Like, temptation doesn't work on people who are content. Because, you know, they've got what they want. There's nothing they need. You can't make a deal with someone who needs nothing. So, yeah, you're fine. A 4-in's fine, but there is that worry.
Yeah.
Also a 5-in, 6-in, 7-in, 8-in, 9-in, etc.
Yeah. All the ones that haven't popped into existence yet.
Yeah. But yeah. So your mind thinks of family. While you're doing that, a wind whips up around you. And it is a bitter, icy wind. It feels like a midwinter sort of wind, and you start to shiver and draw close to the fire. Vintage doesn't seem to be affected by it. It seems to only be affecting you. And you feel this sort of malevolence in the wind, as if you have deeply, deeply angered Petrichor.
Interesting.
Do you say anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
The wind rushes over you again, and it continues that way for about an hour, and you feel extremely cold, but you never get to the extent that you're feeling ill or anything like that. It just makes you constantly uncomfortable. And then it ends, and you're able to go to sleep, and Aegis, you wake up and take the final watch. And you're probably thinking about this deal as well, but you also feel a sense of relief. Because for the first time, you are not craving raw meat, bloody steak, and that temptation that you've had deep inside you to become a wolf and kill everyone around you. You feel that evil in your heart is no longer there. You've had this you've been fighting with this for weeks now. And when the moon was full, you had no choice. But even when the moon was completely gone, you know, complete new moon, you still felt that urge. You felt that darkness inside you telling you that you should hunt. You should hunt the sport of it, the fun of the kill, and that's all gone now. But there is that deal. What do you think about that deal?
I think, despite that relief, Aegis is feeling confused, empty, angry with himself for falling for such a simple trick. He takes out the leg of the boar from his bag and just screams and slams it onto the ground and throws it away. Everything's been going wrong for him lately.
Yeah, it's been rough. It's been really rough. For a while, of course, it was more rough. But yeah.
He shakes his hand at the sky as the sun's raising and thinks to himself, that witch, she told me I would have the sun, that it would protect me, that I would be in glory and joy. And it's all gone downhill ever since then.
Oh, it has. Despite that evil being gone from your heart, do you feel a little bit of anger towards the Queen of Nordmark? That she lied to you like this?
I think he feels anger at everything. Anger at the world. Anger at fate. Anger at the gods. Fontaine didn't even work for him back in the fight before.
Yeah. Do you get the feeling that she lied to you on purpose, or that she doesn't know what she claims to know? That
I think
perhaps she told you something that you needed to hear, or that she needed you to hear, or that she's just making it up.
I think he's going back to his old ways of thinking that magic's all bollocks, except for the bad side of it.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
Magic only brings badness.
Yeah, I mean, your wife's a full caster, so that's going to be an awkward conversation when you get back. But yeah, okay. That's fair. That's totally fair. Yeah, I mean, it's been a really rough couple of weeks for Aegis, but it seems like you are, in this case, almost literally out of the frying pan and into the fires of hell. Stonk, you sleep fine. It's great. Like an absolute baby. You wake up feeling perfect. Nothing has gone wrong. What a great day for a great person such as yourself.
Yeah, it's all going. Stonk's all the way up.
Yeah, everything's coming up stonk at the moment. Like, yeah, the stonks are up.
Except for getting drugged.
That was a problem. Yeah, admittedly, the drugged by cultists and almost sacrificed, that wasn't great. But everything else is going great. Why change a thing? You're perfect, baby.
Well, he was putting on a brave and self-confident face, but he was kind of scared of the situation, especially when it started getting quite obvious that something bad was up.
Yeah. That was a scary scenario to be in, especially once you were like, initially it's just a controlled old man, but then the realization sets in that you were talking to the devil. But you now know you've beaten the devil in at least one conversation, so maybe the devil's not so bad.
Maybe the devil's not so good.
Well, yeah, maybe the devil's not so good. Very good point. So it is a new dawn, it's a new day. Add your tokens on for what pace you're taking. Am I right in assuming you're taking a normal pace?
That would be my vote.
Is anyone healing during the short rest?
Yeah, I did.
Roll some hit dice if you want to do some healing during your short rest, and of course all your resources that are short rest dependent come back.
And so Stonk is doing a song of rest before or after sleeping.
Oh, you're doing a song of rest? That's fine. You can absolutely do that.
Seeing as actually that we are, well, assuming we believe in Awanin's research, we're expecting a small dragon. Probably in the next hex.
You are expecting a small dragon. Yeah.
We don't need 11 movement tokens to get the 2 hexes to our goal. So maybe we go stealthy.
You'll need 8 to get there, and you can do that with the 6 tokens you get from stealth.
That's some tactical thinking. I like it.
Aegis is tactical now.
He's been thinking all morning, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not gone back to sleep since. So yeah, he's been up. He's been planning it through in his head. Been seeing the lay of the land. He's ready. Very good. Let me just double check a thing. Sweet perception modifier. Cool. There we go. All right. So you're going to approach stealthily. Move on into your hex. Subtract 4 tokens. And can I get a group stealth check, please? So I will need everyone to roll stealth, and I'll need more successes than failures to not be spotted.
Does this include Vintage and Bob and everyone?
Oh, it will include the dogs.
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone who hasn't replenished their health fully will get an additional 1d6. Actually, Summer, I think you roll that, and then that's the number they get to add.
Oh, dear.
Where do we have a... Do we need... should I roll for Luna or...
Yeah, you roll stealth for Luna. Assume a modifier of +0. I think. Okay. Let me just double check Mastiff stat block, because that's what it'll be. Stealth actually is +2 to stealth for the dogs.
Okay.
Apart from Vintage, who likely has different stats.
Yes. That is 21 for Tattle and an 18 for Luna.
Oh, that's great.
So 3 and a 7 for Vintage and a 1, and both nat 1s.
2 successes, 2. Oh, nat
You rolled
ones.
2 nat ones. Oh no, that's double bad.
No,
Yeah.
I think group checks don't double up on nat ones. It's only on death saves where that happens. But you do get 2 successes from a nat 20.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just double checking.
What is the DC on this check?
Well, you don't get 2 20s from a 2 successes from a nat 20, but I'm going to have that happen. But I am going to conversely have 2 failures from a nat 1. So 4 failures, 2 successes. The DC is quite low, 14.
Okay, I got a 14. That's good.
You got a 14, so that's 3 successes, 4 failures.
I have rolled the lowest I have ever rolled for Imp's stealth, and it saddens me that the DC is 14 because the total is 13.
13.
Have you got inspiration? Has anyone got inspiration they can use?
No.
No.
I've got inspiration I could give to him.
Stonk has inspiration.
You hand over inspiration on the point when you get it, I think.
Okay.
Imp should have got an inspiration for the combo of mind reading and
Detect thoughts.
No, that got
Yeah.
you a different boon of being able to communicate while tied up without alerting the cult. There's already a huge benefit to that. It was a great move, and I would give inspiration if there was no mechanical benefit, but yeah, there was quite a big benefit to that.
Inspiration for seeing through the devil.
No, because that meant that you didn't go into a fiendish pact, which genuinely, I cannot stress, has some of the worst consequences imaginable.
Oh man! How many successes? We're on 4 failures. How many successes?
4 failures,
No, 5
3
failures.
successes so far. 5 failures, 3 successes. We're still waiting on Stonk. And
So we.
I think on Stonk's dog.
Yeah, Stonk rolled
Okay.
a 21 and Bob rolled a 3.
So that's 6 failures, 4 successes. So what happens is you are creeping along and you hear this keening roar in the sky.
Wait, did you say
And-
Stonk had inspiration?
Stonk does, Bob doesn't.
Yeah, the dog does. No.
Dog doesn't. Stonk passed. You hear this keening roar in the sky, and you see these great leathery wings in the distance, and it's looking around for prey, and so you all duck for cover and try to cover up. Bob yelps though, not used to seeing a dragon in the sky. That's very scary to Bob. And as does Vintage actually as well. That yelping Vintage starts arguing with Bob, and Awanan gets over there to try and slow him down. Is also like now out in the open to try and drag Vintage back in. And the dragon sees, and the dragon turns. And as the dragon approaches, you spot in its wake a cloud of winged serpents
Oh shit.
flying on it. And next session, we will roll initiative for a fight with a dragon and something like 20 flying snakes.
Wait, you said it was a small dragon?
Oh yeah, it's only a wormling. You'll be fine.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You kill a wormling and 20 snakes.
Okay. Let me just check what Ciara Wormling is.
Only 2.
Hey, no looking up the wormlings. No looking up the stat blocks.
The green one was 2, I think.
If you look
Yeah,
up if you look up the stat blocks, I will increase it to a young adult. Or
What
give
if I
it like
recap them?
spell casting.
Yeah, that's how you make dragons more powerful traditionally, isn't it? You give them more spell casting.
Oh yeah, it's raw that you can give a dragon spellcasting, and that's fine. And many of them start with spellcasting. Wormlings tend not to, but they can have it.
Another group has killed a wormling already, so.
And that's
Yeah.
a small group. This will be fine.
I wouldn't worry too much about a wormling. It's the 20 snakes I'd worry about.
Yes. Bad.
Why?
They're probably amazing itself.
Actually, yeah, what is their perception? They might have seen you even more. No. Yeah, so that's what we'll continue with next session. So
Well,
what an what a lot has happened on this one. Like, you've not traveled very far, but a lot has happened to you. I drew some pretty spicy cards for this one.
You did.
Yeah.
Absolutely did.
When the king of Pentacles came up, I was like, oh, I've been waiting for this. I've been secretly hoping that neither Ben or Bree got this card because I really wanted to do it. Like, so much. I wanted to be the one to drop this one on people.
I'm not sure I could have pulled it off quite like you.
Oh, yeah. I've had that planned in my head for ages.
Yeah, that was a textbook meeting the devil thing. And that was great.
Oh,
we finally
that was
met.
good fun.